Okay, well, enough with that anyway. The thing was frozen on my end anyway. But what's up, guys? Welcome to the TikToker charity live stream for Feeding America, all that good jazz, yada, yada, yada. Glad you could join us.
Sorry.
Whoever that person was. Mom?
I'm going live on TikTok too, sorry.
No, it's all right. But yeah, real quick, I'm going to run you guys through. I'm going to...
If Tommy goes live on my phone
anyway. And
I feel like I'm
infinity.
Yeah, but if you do want to donate, this is the page you go to. It's the only link in the description. You just go right on here. You go to donate. You can do it anonymously, or you can put your name in, write a comment, the amount, your email, all that stuff. Now, we also have a few different rewards that we put together. Right now, for a $10 donation, if you so choose, we will shout out any social media you would like. For $20, we will actually roast your TikTok page. If you want to get roasted by some of the best political TikTokers around, we'll do that for you for $20. And for $50, limit of 5, I will make a I will speak first. For $50 donations, I will make a political TikTok on any topic you choose, and I will tag you in the video. And no, I'm not fooling myself. It is for a good cause. Remember that. But yeah, limit 5 because, only so much time in a day. But yeah, that's what
I mean, he's full time now, but whatever. It's cool. He only has so much of that full time.
Right.
No.
And as of right now, for every, you see these little things here, my goal is $2,000, and to help that along as we go throughout the night, every $100 that we do gather together, I'm going to be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card to a random viewer for the first $500. After that, just out of the kindness of your heart, I guess. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about all kinds of different stuff, and let me pull that off of here real quick. And and we should be joined with a few other people here in a few minutes.
Someone's asking how you donate on Twitch.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Let me do that too.
Need to
if you go,
audience.
I can just tell you.
Professional.
I'll just show you real quick. Okay, if you go on Twitch, if you go to the About section, it's the very first link. It'll say donate to charity. You just pop on that, and it will... Oh, hold on. Shit. Never mind. Whoop, there we go. All right. Yeah, if you go to the About section on my Twitch, all you got to do is go to the donate charity thing, and it will go right to the thing, and you'll be good to go. And that is how you donate on Twitch. You're like tech support. Like, share your screen, please. Yes. But yeah, so anyway, without further ado, what's up, everyone? How are we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right.
You feeling better? For those that don't know, you had COVID. I
still have
guess.
COVID.
I
I feel like kind of rough, but I'm soldiering through. I'm like 3 Red Bulls deep, and I'll be all right.
That's healthy.
I'll make it work.
That's healthy. Yeah,
super healthy. Yeah.
If you drink Red Bull, you don't have to worry about the vaccine.
For $100, Driven will take his blood pressure live on stream.
Yeah, right. Maybe more like 200.
If you drink bang, your blood will develop the vaccine.
All of a
Right.
sudden, and he's like, "Somebody say bang."
John, did you see that video?
Yeah,
Did you see that video I
I that before we went live.
Yeah, he showed all of us.
Dick. I saw it. I was like, "Fuck, I hate you so much right now." I just don't get why she had her hair and like the girl's version was the little ponytail, but the guy's version was my hair.
Leonard Skinner.
I mean, you know,
guy.
hey, it's
I think I actually had the beard-ish area. No, I'm just,
and we are waiting on a couple more people. I don't know. They're they're fashionably late, I suppose.
I'm gonna bully one of them right now in the DMs.
Yes, bully all of them.
Who
I would
is-
bully them, but whatever. But speaking of daily news, did you guys see the Trump campaign fundraiser? $617 million.
yeah.
What?
What are those crackpots up to now?
Paying off campaign debt and legal fees.
Everybody was they actually fired their original campaign manager because he was bad with the money, but now I think it was just all a front to be able to shovel it in their own pockets. I mean, because clearly that's what they were doing. They did that in the last campaign when they raised $100 million for the inauguration. Somehow the Trump campaign spent $100 million on the 2016 inauguration, which is 3 times as much as Obama spent in 2012 or 2008 when he had like the biggest one ever.
Yeah.
So you already know they were
lost.
front.
Yeah,
we need to figure out how much money per attendee of the inauguration they spent. Like 100 million divided by X, however many people. Yeah.
250. It's a lot
It was
of money.
it was essentially a $50,000 free invitation to a party.
Right.
All with McDonald's.
I'm still stuck on this like Space Force situation. I just can't get over it. It highlights all of the things that the right is stealing from the left, or just stealing in general from the world. Like I made a video earlier this week about like Spartan races because somebody had posted a video of the Proud Boys doing their march, and they were saying like, "Yeah, we should do the Spartan chant, who." I'm like, first of all, it's a roo, not a who, you idiot. Second of all, like that was never really in the movie. That actually comes from Spartan races, which are about inclusivity, so not working for you. And then they go off and steal, like I said earlier, they stole Space Force from Netflix, Guardians from Marvel, and then For Us By Us from FUBU. Like.
So hold on, wait just 1 second there. I just want to shout out. We have our very first donation from a anonymous.
Thank you.
Though, I am Chucky was the very first donator. Thank you so very much. I will now be your friend for life, as per the
As per the unspoken guidelines of donation.
Exactly. Yes. Blake's picking up what I'm putting down.
I gotcha.
But yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I want to at least, get a few, every dollar counts, you just bought somebody a meal, hopefully somewhere.
Probably a few people.
Yeah.
Truly.
But yeah, no, Feeding America, they're really good. They do shelters and then food banks throughout the country. They're from the Midwest, so you got to represent for the Midwest.
Wait, are we doing Toys for
There's
Tots?
actually people doing charitable things.
No, Feeding America.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing
Feeding
Feeding America. I swear to God, DM me Toys for Tots. I thought
Yeah, that was like a week ago,
That
bro.
was the original thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was going to do Toys for Tots, but they have a cutoff deadline of like the 17th anyway. But as far as like sending in toys and stuff, you can donate straight money. But, given our current scene is 40 million people might be displaced come January 1st.
And the sexy firemen always do Toys for Tots. Like they can't let anybody have anything. They have to be like sexy and charitable to children, and like it's like we get it. Like we got it.
Sexy firemen, we are not. But,
Calendar, like
I mean, y'all can speak for yourselves. I mean, I'm out here.
I saw your what was it? Tell me you haven't been laid in a long time, and you're like I do talk about politics on TikTok. That was funny. I was like, damn.
It was showing that.
I'll just do this. Mary.
Must be nice.
No, I don't get laid. Yeah, that whole get laid and then you get married thing. This is why I agree with save sex for after marriage, because the whole thing before marriage is just a scam to lock you down, and then once they got you, they're like, no. And I'm like, I said I had a headache. What are you talking about? Like, you've been arguing on who's denying it.
What's it like to have a partner that loves you? I think everyone was talking about how like everyone on leftist TikTok is insatiably horny. It's like, yeah, it's because we're locked in the house talking about politics all the time.
Well, okay, so I have this room, my studio/library/office. The next room over is his Zen den. He's one of those. And then we share. And then we have the living room, which he always takes over. Then when he's done with it, he comes into the bedroom where I'm hanging out, and he's like, I'm shutting this down too. And I'm like, yes, NASA. Like, whatever, get out of it. Like, but this is what it's like. Yesterday, I was about to get ready for work at 11. It was 9 o'clock, and I have to get to work, and I'm a hairstylist and all that. So he jumps in the shower.
Ooh.
The shower has all my stuff to get ready, and everyone's like, oh, just jump in there with him. I'm like, A, he's 6'4". B, I'm 6 foot. C, the logistics don't work like that. Also, like, I ended that video with, like, the next time you see me will be on my own episode of Snapped on Oxygen. That's marriage. I remind him daily, if you puncture holes in the lungs, the body doesn't flow.
Oh, damn.
Just saying.
Very, very heartwarming. Very nice. Very much gold.
Marriage is great. Skip it. No, I love it. We've been together for 11 years, so.
I love him though. We've been together 11 years.
We learned to, like, in the pandemic, we're like, okay, A, go sober. B, separate. Like, in your room, I'll stay in my room. Don't get drunk. Don't get mad. We're good. He's good though.
Keep alive. 12 rules to life.
He's cool. But I mean, he has all the animals on his side, which I'm like, I don't like the gang mentality situation that's happening in my household.
I live in a zoo. I wish I lived in a zoo. I miss having animals in the house.
Oh my god, the truthful groomer. Did you see her video the other day? Do you guys follow her? She's great. She's from South Dakota. She actually runs a doggy daycare. And
all right, real quick, I just want to give a little. We are already at $263.
Oh my goodness!
Woo-hoo.
Thank you guys so much.
Bam! Look at that. 50, 50, 20.
Yay,
20. No Trap, Blakeson, John Quincy Adams came back from the dead on that one.
Yeah,
I know who that is.
Wait, who do I get to
Kevin's like, I'm ready to bully someone.
Two of those donations, I believe, are me and Blake. But yeah. But all right, hey, check it out, guys. I said I would do it every 100. Now I'm like 3 behind already because I didn't expect it to happen. So anybody that is watching, I tried to figure out the least hokey way to do this because I don't want, I'm not like trying to get anything off of this. But in order for it to be random, if you go to my very last YouTube video, which is this one, I'll show you. Let me pop it on screen here.
There we go.
If you go to this one right here, the Chris Krebs shuts down voter fraud video. Okay, go to that video and type Livestream win. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to this random comment generator. Okay, and it's gonna pick one of those random comments, and whoever's comment it picks, I'm gonna give a $25 gift card to. I've got several of them, so I'll give you guys like 5 minutes to go do that. So go to my last YouTube video, comment Livestream win, and then I'll pick a random comment in like 5 minutes here.
I just hit refresh, and now we're at 350.
Oh my goodness!
Like, so should we go for 10? Like, what? Like, I feel like 2,000 is a little mediocre for us right now.
Y'all are so great.
I'll be ecstatic if we can get to 2,000. I mean, that would be awesome.
Hey,
usually my charity is like giving $200 worth of.
Hey, Kelly White.
Thanks, Kelly.
I think what I'll do is just
I gotta be
just
white.
offer this is after this
Why
is
do you
over, I'll
have to
just
be
do an
white?
Omega Live, and then I'll
What's
I'll just do an Omega Live after this. I don't know why, but I get a ton of viewers do Omega Lives. But
I don't know why.
Dude, Omegle is like what everybody
I have a
wants.
crush for
these days.
Omegos or Omega or whatever. I see that in your live. I'm like, I'm out. I can't. Like, I scream at my like screen, like, say this. What's wrong with you?
I just don't want to get called a slur, so I stay off of Omegle.
Oh,
Have you guys seen the white nationalist guy, the Gypsy Crusader dude, the Joker guy?
This sounds already very, very bad.
I've seen him on like 4 TikToks where like, oh, I actually feel bad for him. Apparently his story is he got bullied by Antifa and BLM, and now he's a white nationalist who rolls around on Omegle and like shouts slurs at people. It's a very odd story. I can't believe y'all haven't heard about this.
I'm so sad. Like, people like me can talk all the way off. I don't really care. Excuse my language. But,
Well, like in my opinion, if it takes you like cyberbullying to like make you like a white nationalist, you were already there. You just wanted an
yeah, like how did that put you
there?
out there? You should be anti-cyberbullying,
No,
not anti like
and we lost one.
other than white people.
But he'll be back.
He'll be back.
My husband pops in with her.
Oh.
He must have heard.
I got somebody on the somebody on my TikTok stream says, "Great material, snowflakes. Be careful, your mom doesn't overhear this." Like, okay.
I'll get my mom to come on the stream.
My mom would probably like.
My mom watches my Twitch streams and comments, and then everyone in the comments like, "It's Janet," and I'm like, "Oh God!"
It's an ongoing
Damn
joke
it,
that
Janet.
my mom hasn't owned in my TikToks because she hasn't gotten her roots done because of the pandemic. So maybe one day Catalina will get her roots done so she can be on live.
Oh yeah, that sounds like.
And he's back. Maybe not.
So hold on, real quick to Aaron.
And he's gone.
He's got issues. You guys let him live his best life.
He's coming. He's gonna be there.
So
he'll be there in spirit. We love Janet. Heidi loves Janet.
Everybody loves Janet.
Okay,
Janet.
Real quick.
My mother.
That's Janet. I was thinking of John Oliver thing.
Aaron.
I was thinking Rocky Horror.
Real
Damn
quick,
it.
I wanted to say something to the commenter, Aaron to Sony. If you follow Emma Silverman 1, Emma_Silverman1, she talks about the new case filed with SCOTUS and how it's not going to go anywhere. And
I like her. Her account's good.
Great. She's great. But I'm like the video's right here. So I can't remember what it is that she quotes. I think it's Hatcham. Latches. Laches. Look that up.
Yeah, Latches is when you
but that was probably her, like, I think her page. It's her most recent video on her page. Emma_Silverman1. Follow her. Like, I heavily endorse her as a creator.
I just sent the link back to LJ. He should be joining us.
LJ.
Dude, I straight up thought he was Russell Wilson on my For You page the first time I passed by him.
Tommy's
internet is going in and out. Alrighty. But okay, if everybody has commented, I'm gonna go pop that back up on screen.
Tommy's internet is always going in and out. He might as well just like, I'm gonna text him right now, dude.
Okay.
Which
nobody. I got several. Oh, you got. Okay.
What?
Well, they typed it out different.
My food booster.
Like, what's happening? Sorry, I was texting.
No, they typed it out different than I had it on my thing. It's all good. I had live stream as one word. All right.
Sorry, I'm adjusting my light because I don't want to be all blown out the way I am right now.
All right. We're gonna pick a. Get the comments. All right, here we go. S. Carlson, you are the winner. All right. Woo!
Yeah.
You get a brand new car.
As long as it's worth $25 or less.
Comment.
S.
I knew my Jeep is.
S. Carlson, you are the winner. $25 gift card, just like that. S. Carlson, you want to, either follow me on. I'll message you, or S. Carlson, what is your Twitter handle or your Instagram? Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Just that.
I love his comment or their comment. It's wow, that's cool. Thank you. Like, did you not know what you were commenting? You know, stop being modest. Rub it in people's faces because you were here for it and they weren't. Come on, act like a Republican. Rub something in people's face that you didn't deserve. You didn't deserve that.
So should we? I didn't really have anything planned for this live stream. What should we troll some conservative TikTok, or do y'all think?
I mean,
opinion, or what?
I'm in such a big bubble. I never see any conservative TikToks.
Same here.
It's so hard.
I do enough woes on my page to keep them off. Actually, they pull them out now too. So now you have to stop doing the woe. It just doesn't. What's that little crunchy blonde hair girl that dances in all her videos and she thinks she's good? And I'm like, you're doing half the move. I know she took dance classes, so I know she knows she's marking every one of those moves. But all of her shit is just it's whack. She doesn't. You know, they always I always talk about this. They always get halfway through a thought and then make their point. They never complete the thought of the point. She's like, oh, tell me one thing about you that says what your political affiliation is. For example, difference of opinion doesn't cause me to melt. I'm like, okay, well, here's one. My opinion is actually facts, not me thinking I'm right. I've actually have sources. Several. I love it when they're like, oh, and it can't be CNN, it can't be MSNBC, it can't be Associated Press, it can't be Reuters. It has to be and you're like, Fox Entertainment Channel, or what source do you want me to use to confirm?
There's somebody, and he's back.
Hooray!
Internet issues.
Yeah, he's a little far from his router.
All right.
It's just like one of his lives.
Tommy, do you ever have? Oh no. He's frozen.
He's just staring.
He needs to let it go.
All right, staring contest go. Whoever blinks first loses.
Anybody got that? No. Am I the only one with nieces and nephews?
I can't do it.
I think he's gonna win, y'all.
Master.
All right. Shannon, I am sending you your gift card right now.
Fox got slapped with a cease and desist by one of the voter machine companies. Of course.
What?
They're
just hit refresh. Now we're over 400.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 4 behind on these gift card giveaways.
Where are we at right now? I don't even have anything open to look.
We're at $413.
413 big ones.
413. You know, we hit 200 in 3 minutes, guys. We can do better. Let me guilt you into social.
I love how we're doing this for a good cause. Give us a pass to just be
total
come on,
dicks and just be more money now.
Remember, guys, for a $20 donation, we will roast your TikTok. And for
you while you donate.
Right.
Let's be honest, they don't go to our TikTok pages to watch us be nice about things. What do they think we're doing here? I mean, Like,
all right. S. Carlson, I just sent it to you, so congratulations. You are the winner chicken dinner of a gift card thingy. No bother. All right, go ahead, sir. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, where did see? That's another thing that the right has completely gotten wrong. They called us the tolerant left. I never said that. We never said that. They said that, and as per usual, they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
The tolerance paradox, the idea that we have to tolerate intolerance.
Chucky wants a roast.
You want roast?
We'll roast your content, bud. I see every single one of your notifications. I see every single one.
You get I mean, yeah, we can retroactively give you one. Technically, you're supposed to put it in on the rewards. Yeah, let me explain that one more time since there's more people here. So we have a few different. There's a few different tiers in the thing. When you go to the page, when you go to this page, if you go on rewards here, there's for $10 we will shout out any social media you want. So I'll put it right up here on screen. We'll shout it out. For $20 we will roast your TikTok page. You know, because it's kind of what we do. And then for $50, I will make a TikTok on any political topic that you want me to and tag you in it. And that's all we have for now. We might make up some more as the night goes. But yeah, if you want one of those, you have to click on rewards, and they'll all three pop up so you can select them there. And yeah, or you can just donate because, you know, feeding people is good.
When Chucky is speaking on, Chucky donated 20. So that's why he was asking about the page roast.
Yeah, no, we can definitely do
page up right now. I got receipts.
What's a TikTok?
I am Chucky V. I know this because he's always popping up on my shit.
I don't think. Hold on, I know how to do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's got all the crunchy munchables, all the really bad.
Oh, there's LJ.
Republican women.
Damn, he's just like chilling there the whole time.
What's up, yo? How you guys?
I didn't even see he was down there.
Yeah, I finally got in. What's up, you guys?
Hello.
I heard you guys talk about my boy Chucky.
Yeah,
we're about to roast
I'm
this
gonna be doing a roast on him later. I'm actually writing these down because I'm gonna broadcast your ass.
Nice. Yeah, he followed my podcast like 2-3 months ago, and he's been like a huge supporter of me and my brother. So he's a good person. He's a good dude.
It's I am Chucky V.
Yep.
Yes.
Screen name. Okay.
What's up? What I miss?
We are up to $400 already. We gave away an Amazon gift card. We solved TikTok. Not really, but you know.
We solved it.
We're bullying.
We solved it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like, donate more. You can do better. Like, bury that.
How many we got on right
Continuing
now?
to be entitled.
Oh God. That guy.
Oh God, that guy. Good start. Good start.
I just went to Chucky's thing. So the only way I know how to get to people's pages is like by liking posts and putting it in my likes.
Tommy's resetting his router, by the way. Or as he said, restarting my internet.
But no, his video was on this kid. I'm sure y'all have seen this kid. Oh no.
Oh, Chuck.
It's the confidence for me.
God.
I haven't.
Love that dude, man.
Gonna drown and die anyway, but we've been happy right up until the end.
Hey, Chuck.
This kid.
How are you and that kid gonna have
This kid,
bang?
he's something else.
The confidence, man.
I'm roasting Chucky live here, you guys. You just
I am completely wrong about everything, but let me tell you.
Zach Morris hairdo.
Hey, you what, man? I
Yes,
respect
now
the confidence.
we were on Chucky's page. If y'all wanna go ahead.
Wait, Chucky. So just do everybody a favor from now on. I'm gonna give you some content creating advice. You know how you can go select the cover? Make sure these crunchy ass people aren't what people see when they look at your
Right, yeah.
That's why wait, scroll back up. That's why you only have 2,000 followers. You could have 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
God, it's so sad that I know all these people.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I will show the face
Oh, look at that.
They're
That's
very popular. Like
Oh
that.
my.
Like, scroll back up.
up
What
or
is
back?
that nakedness? That nasty, like 3-2 towel wearing, drunk. You know he's drunk. He's drunk. Like he's the bottle caps off. That's why he looks like that. Why do you have him as the cover of your video? Like, let people click on that shit and be surprised.
Yeah.
And you're like in shadow ban land with me. 2,000 followers, get 5, 2.
Yeah.
2 views on it. Like,
Wait, open one of his videos, like if you can without too much noise. I want to see if you're hashtagging it.
hold on, let me
Give me advice on this, Chuck.
I'm gonna switch it up here.
Take your hashtags off. Stop hashtagging. That's gonna get you.
Somebody just popped in.
Speed
There he is.
Hey, so look at that. He has movement. He can move.
Hold on, I'm gonna spin it back to a thing here.
Hey, what's up, Tommy?
Hey. You know LJ is my nephew's name, too.
No way.
That's my godson's name.
It's popular.
It's my godson's name, and it was my best friend's little brother's name. It was like,
nice.
Bam, there we go. Now we're cooking.
we're kind of roasting Chuck's TikToks right now.
Let me highlight him first.
Dude, Chuck is the most well-connected, like, random person I've ever seen. Like, he knows everybody.
These aren't very
Like, every page I go to and I open it up.
There he is. He's got something to say about everything.
God.
Are you from New York? Chuck, are you from New York?
Chuck is in New York.
He looks like he's from New York.
He looks like he looks like
He's ready. He's ready to battle, man.
Are you a mob boss by chance? Like a progressive mob
What's
boss?
your nickname?
No, that's like Ronnie Dangerfield I'm thinking of.
Yeah, dude. I'll just go to anybody's like random page. I'll open it up, and Chuck is having a full-on conversation with these people. I'm just like,
Dude, there's our favorite. There's our favorite.
Right. Look at that crusty water above him.
Bootleg Jason Momoa.
oh my god, that was not a good day.
Ugh.
That guy was like
completely different part of the world, but yeah.
Not a good day.
It's
funny because I have a friend.
You go from very good looking to ugly like that.
Oh, it was fast. He went up and down real fast.
Like, oh, what was this? It was a social experiment.
You know what the worst thing? Oh my god! You know what the worst thing about owning a Mac is? Fucking iTunes.
No.
Oh, fuck away!
You had to turn off all my notifications before I came on here.
No, because you're not
the videos. Let's see what. Let's check out this one.
Why?
This is
Look at that. That's sexy.
Oh, got a TikTok in my arm. Sweet Jesus.
This is the house that pretty much.
His name is Sweet
I got
Daddy.
a TikTok in my arm.
No.
What?
Oh!
Sweet Daddy?
Why did you click on that?
This is a house that pretty much minds their own fucking business until you piss me off.
Mine. M-I-N-E-S. Mine.
Fuckheads.
Mind your own. How do you say mind your own business and shove shit like that in my face? No, sir.
Oh my god.
That's been politics in like 40 years. Talking about taxation is theft.
People in his comments were talking.
We don't need roads.
He was talking. He just made a video to his sister, and everybody was upset about it.
What's his name? Dick, the kid that's second row center on Chuck's page, second row center. That kid. I went into his live stream.
So once all this election stuff is done and Trump's in,
bro,
so once all this election
into his live stream on like your other account that we all have, your ghost account, sneak into it and just watch them talk. They are crazy. I mean, I report everything that's worth reporting, but like they are crazy people. They are crazy.
Oh yeah.
In there,
Dude,
she was full QAnon.
Yo, today has been an awesome day. Today was an amazing day. I know I can't catch you all the way up in these 60 seconds, but I encourage you to check out the other guys in the description here. They have awesome content too. Anyway, we had some amazing news today. We have multiple states, unprecedented. We've never been here before in American history. Multiple states sent 2 slates of competing electors, both Democrat and Republican. That's going to be up to the Congress to settle on January 6th.
I got some amazing news for you guys. It did not happen at all. It's amazing news. It didn't happen, though. Here it is.
That's the next day to keep a really good watch out for January 6th. The other thing that's very possible is that could result, now I'm not ready to say this 100% yet, but it could result in a 12 limit. We also had
okay, well, thank God for that.
22 Dominion machines forensically audited showing massive voter fraud. That was from a third party, and they straight up said these were designed.
These guys are like
voter fraud.
These guys are like Sports Center analysis for like politics. And then booyah, and then we had voter fraud, and then bam, it was gone. And then analysis.
Crazy day. We had an interesting situation with that Wisconsin Supreme Court case. Still keeping an eye on that, exactly what's going on there. But guys, it is awesome. Stay hyped, stay in it, and it is far.
Stay hyped.
Stay hyped. At his audience.
There was a full 15 seconds worth of information in that, and none of it was even remotely close to being accurate.
He was like, guys, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to choose to not be concise in this video.
Yeah, I have so little time, I'm going to spend it throwing various adjectives at you.
Right? Come on.
What?
You can't use college words with them.
Right? I think the craziest part about them is like if I'm ever ambiguous at all, or if I don't go into detail on something, I get very nervous after I post. But these people will go a whole 60 seconds saying bullshit the whole time with no shame. Like they have no shame at all.
These are the same people that are so first in your comment, source in all caps. And then they're just like, guys, you'll never believe this. Probably not, but go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, like I get worried. Like if I'm vague on something, I'm like, oh, they're gonna come after me in the comments.
If I don't know all my sources, I freak out. I'm like, oh shit, that they're gonna go out. Yeah.
These guys are just like, Trump's gonna win. I don't know how, but he's gonna pull through.
Jesus, holy shit.
All right. I need to get caught back up on these gift cards since we're already well past $400. Okay, so let me get off this screen.
I forgot to update my thing. It's not shit.
Bam.
It's not that they just like their own, believe their own bullshit, Chucky. They like the smell of their own bullshit. It's fucking
like a warm blanket, you know, keeps them warm at night.
Okay, why are you trying to come for my background? By the way, like get your own gig. Like
you don't like all these books I don't read?
I've read all of mine. I've read every single one of these, and this is just 3 of the shelves.
I got like a roll of Bibles I've never opened.
Meanwhile, my background is just a unicorn in space dabbing while drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Now,
personality.
Listen, everyone that is in the comments, what you have to do is go to my last video, which is this one, the Chris Krebs shuts down voter fraud allegations. Okay, go to that video, and since we already did live stream win, just like that, just like it shows on the screen. Is it on? Okay, yeah.
You know there are going to be some trolls, right?
Well, it filters them out and stuff. It doesn't matter. And you can only enter once, so don't try to type it 27 times or anything. It only picks it up one time per user. But type win, just like that, all in succession, in the comments of that video. And in about 5 minutes, I'll pick a random comment with this generator, and that person gets a $25 gift card from Amazon, just like our last winner, S. Carlson, who is enjoying their awesome gift card right now.
You don't have to donate to enter, right?
No, you just got to be here. All you got to do is type win on that video.
All right, I'm going to go enter.
I'm going to have Chucky just enter so he can send it to me.
Like QAnon people are going to be like, it was fixed, you see?
They did it for themselves. Yeah,
we're all in on it together.
Yeah, we're all. S. Carlson is actually Tory. That was our first winner. You got me. But
so I've taken these racist white girls from being a snow possum to a snow roach to a fucking snow cricket because they got shit to say when I'm done.
What is all these snow animals? What?
White people.
What's going on?
Man, I can't get away with that on my page. I'll just be like, hey, it's really not cool when you
I love how
I get called racist all the time when I'm like, hey, you should be able to take criticism. They're like, Tori, why do you hate white people so much? And I'm like, I'm going to start hating white people because of this app now. Just
I hate white people and I am white. What are you talking about? Like,
I hate white people.
Like I hate.
I mean, I'm indifferent with them. You know, they're all right.
I mean, there are some I'm sure are good people.
Some I'm sure.
Much right now
on both sides, you know.
A lot more white people are racist than most people think. Like they are. White people think they have a safe space around other white people, and I'm not that white person to be safe space around because I will call you out and drag you for Phil. No
well, I think the funniest one is like when they're not like when they're like a really big social justice warrior and they're still doing hella racism. My favorite story to tell is when my freshman year I went to a Young Democrats meeting and they were talking because at that time they were talking about taking away DACA. And they're like, we need to do this like really bold protest so that way we can get attention. And they're like, we need to put someone on a cross that looks like an immigrant. And I'm like the only little brown girl in that whole room. And everyone looked to me and I was like, I was born here. I hate it here.
Girl, how does one look like an immigrant? Because I live in Washington. There are a lot of Russians that are very suspect up here.
Right. We need someone that look like.
And I'm from Southern California, so I've been real close to the border, and I'll tell you this right now: the Russians, they're rude up here. Down there,
they're spirit, but they're a little confused.
Yeah, we had like 4 new hires. They were all Russian, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what's going on here?"
Their
takeover has begun.
I was like, "Oh no, here comes the takeover."
They're probably
and I'm like, hey, yeah, like, so should we be nervous about Russians? Like, just joking with her. And she's like, the men, yeah, the Russian men. She's Russian, like full on, like thick accent, all that. And she's like, yeah, no, the men suck. They're fucking stupid. And I'm like, what? It's like they all want to sit at home and expect everybody else to do everything for them. And I was like, I'll let you do that, and I'll just relay the message later because I'm not racist. But yeah,
Gingerbread Man.
Gingerbread Man 95 donated. Thank you kindly, sir. Twitch is holding it down for the donations. The Twitch people are donating. If you want to donate on Twitch, all you gotta do is go to the About section. I made a special little bar just for the donation. It's different from all the other bars. You know, it's cooler. Made a cooler little bar.
Class on my phone right now because apparently LJ and I roasted the same chick. Yeah, I want to see if I have more views.
I love how we roast Chucky, but we just ended up roasting the people that he stitched.
My views are so inconsistent, man, because I'll go like 2-3 days without posting, and I'll go post something and get like 300 likes. I'm like, oh no. It's like I gotta post like twice a day now.
I haven't been posting because I've been sick, and like I've like the few videos I have put up have gotten like 17 views.
Oh, you have way more than I do.
I don't know what the algorithm wants.
I don't think he and I roasted the same girl, Chucky. What are you talking about? That snow possum I was talking about earlier.
I think it's snow possum.
Snow possum.
All right, so I want to see what else this kid has to say since we're here. What do you have to say for yourself?
Somebody send him a link to this after we're done. By the way,
yeah.
I don't think there's enough room for all of us.
What's up, liberal TikTok? It's good to see you again after all the death threats on my last video. I just wanted to give you a formal thank you for all of the traffic you've brought to my page. Believe it or not, that does actually pay me, so thank you for that. But I would also take this opportunity to encourage you to probably go see psychiatric help. Maybe a lot of you...
Boo.
So if you haven't already...
I like the bow.
It's good to see you again after all the death threats on my last video. I just wanted to give you a formal thank you for all of the traffic you've brought to my page.
That boy
believe it or
Victor,
not, that does actually pay me, so thank you for that. But I would also take this opportunity to encourage you to probably go see psychiatric help. Maybe a lot of you issue death threats. It's kind of concerning. It's kind of weird. I know you probably just slipped as a kid and hit your head really hard. That's my guess. But really, I do hope you guys get well soon and in the coming weeks. And whenever you watch,
yeah, boo.
So
like,
hang on.
I want to see the video that he's talking about.
What he plans to do.
I want to see the video that he's talking about where he got all the death threats. Because if he thinks like,
listen to me really closely. If you were a Democrat,
first on the death threat thing, he looks like 5,000 followers. gets a ton of like crazy ass messages. I know y'all get crazy ass messages all the time, and so do I. So I hate when people are like, they like show one comment from the comment section, and they're like, "Huh, so much for the tolerant left." It's like, first, you called us that. We didn't call ourselves that. And second off, it's everybody. That happens to everyone.
I want to see how many views
right
the
now,
video
you
he's
want
talking
unity
about
in this
got.
country. I pray.
It's just like it made me all this money. If you've been in the creator fund, do you know how many views you have to get to like make $1?
You got to get like
how many views? Money you make off the creator fund. Otherwise, you can get pulled out of the creator fund and actually have your entire account banned.
Am I the only one that like? Are you guys all? I don't think y'all.
I muted myself.
I'm on live. I'm on live, so I can't talk about it. But I can't stop you guys from talking about it. So.
I removed myself. Like I eat it a lot.
I'm still in it, but what else?
I'm still in it. One day, like a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video that got 500,000 views, and I checked a couple days later, and that was $30 from the creator fund in just one day. I was like, wow. No wonder all these people that like just post one video a day and get 20 million views are able to do this shit. But
right.
Hold on. This
nuts.
with me though. So I used to get an average of 15,000 views a video, right? And then I had a video of me walking across Cal State Long Beach, just holding my phone up, and I saw this anti-gay preacher that I shut down in like 28 seconds, and I kept it moving, right? And that hit 1.2 million views in 26 hours, had over 400,000 likes, had close to 10,000 or maybe 12,000 comments, 90% supported, and it had over 7,000 shares, and then TikTok muted it. And then I was like, oh, they don't want to pay that coin, right? And then after that video got muted, every single video of mine wouldn't get over 600. And then I pulled myself from the creator fund. The only thing I would get over 600 is if I duetted somebody else. And then once I pulled myself out of the creator fund, all of a sudden I'm like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. Right now I have one that just hit 13,000. I'm like, it's so annoying.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream.
So if you haven't already, I encourage you to go look up. This is off Joe Biden's website. I encourage you to go look up what he wants to do with firearm restrictions and what he wants to do. I encourage you, if you want unity, listen to me really closely. If you're a Democrat right now and you want unity in this country, I pray that you do not support this right here, because that is a fast track to about the opposite. The opposite.
Solid.
Second Amendment shall not be infringed, and there's a reason it's put in our Constitution.
How are they not getting this?
I hope you guys don't support that, because opposite.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love. You see this headline that says "Get weapons of war off our streets." If you want unity, don't support that. How dare you have the idea that we should get weapons of war off the streets?
So we should all have tanks.
I closed out of my live because people wanted me to talk about the creator fund.
Yes.
Sorry.
Because I recently got a little notification to go ahead and sign up for it, but I'm so scared because I'm new and still growing, and I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, I didn't join it until I had like 50,000 followers.
I joined it when I had like 30,000 or whatever, and then I had that video go viral, and then they were like, "Nope, you're silenced." And I have been stuck at like 58.3. I was stuck at 57.9 for literally like 3 weeks, and I would get like 50 new follows, but then somehow be like 53 less than the day before. Like I went to bed last night with 58.4 thousand followers, woke up with 58.3, but I had 57 new ads. So I'm like, I went after some racist bitch, and now I'm back up.
I think I haven't taken any money out of it, but I think the most I started it at 10,000, and it's like my growth has been really fucking slow, but or 10 or 15 whenever you get first started. But the most I ever got paid on there, and I haven't touched any of it, was $100, and it was for the 3 or 4 days of election coverage, where I had like 4 or 5 million views. And so that kid's like, I'm making money off this, and I'm just like, no, you're not. If you got
like $1.17.
Yeah, he made like maybe $2.50. Like it doesn't pay. The creator fund doesn't pay shit.
It doesn't. You know what? Like I think they're running out of money too, because before that went viral, I was getting like $7, $6, $8 a day.
It's supposed to be like 2 cents per 1,000 views or something. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and see who won the gift card. All right, Let me grab the
If you
comment.
win it, you send that to me.
What?
I said, Chucky, if you win that, you got to mail that to me.
You can't win twice, bro. Unless you're sending it to me. That's okay. We're playing by Republican rules. Like, only if I benefit.
Alex, you are the winner. Alex, just Alex. Nothing. Winner. Chicken dinner. Alex is the winner.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry, Robert.
All right, Alex. You're, what's Alex? Put your. Oh, hi. Put your either your Twitter or you can either message me on Twitter or Instagram, or put your Twitter in the comment section so I can just message you. I mean, me message you, not you message me, Alex. So bam, just that easy. That's 2 down, 2 more to go. We're over $500 now, so that's awesome.
Ooh,
5
nice.
ones.
thank you guys so much.
Card I bought it will be giving away. So yeah.
Would you like us to roast one of your favorite creators on the right that you hate? Because we'll do that.
Yeah.
We have no problem.
I feel like that's our specialty anyway. I feel like that's kind of what we all do.
My little role as Bianca Del Rio, an amazing insult comic drag queen, would say. Let me scroll through my Rolodex of hate. Oh, sorry. Some of you in here. A Rolodex is like like your contacts, and it was like on a wheel, and it had business cards, and you'd staple them in there. I mean, if you didn't want them to fall out, but that was like counterproductive because when you did pull them out later, then you took the whole thing with you. But it was a Rolodex. I've actually used one in the last 2 decades. I have one for my hate now. See? KJ knows what's that.
I really like coming on these live streams because I was feeling old because I turned 23 on Friday, and then I'm like, oh, I'm okay.
Okay, let's pump the brakes.
Okay, so here's hold on. I did the math. 250,000 views is $10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made $36 off of 1.2 million views.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Like, hopefully he's not getting more than he's not. No, that's not happening for him.
Yeah, I think one of them guys that does like he adds all that stuff, like all the videos and stuff up. He said that the Addison Rae WAP video that got like 100 million views. She said she got like $2,800 for 100 million views. You know what I mean? So you're not getting shit.
Like, don't opt in, opt out. Like, if you opt out and you have it now, you can always opt back in later if you're really hurting that bad. But like,
I've been for like a month and a half, and I've made like $50. So it's not, you don't get it. You know what I mean? So all them people are like, oh, haters are paying my bills. Like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, what bill? Are you filling up your gas tank once a month? Nice. I mean, cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's helpful.
So, Joe, are we all under the agreement that the TikTok Creator Fund hurts your views? Because if so, I might just.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
it seems to be unverified, but
seems to be the case. Tommy, do you remember how I was in the shadow band forever? I was in it for like 3 months, guys. It was, you know, I was in the graveyard. Like, Simba was like, no, Dad, I can't go there. Like, that's where I was at. Now that I'm out, I'm getting over 2,000, 3,000 views, which doesn't seem like much, but when I was getting 15,000 before, then I was getting 600. Like, it's going back up. Goddess Mia was the one that said, like, get out of it. It takes like 2 or 3 weeks and your views shoot back up. And I'm on like week 2 right now. And it's just getting better and better. So if I was doing better than you while I was in the Creator Fund and you weren't, that just means you're not as good as I am.
Because like my growth has been like slow compared to other people. Have you guys seen Emma Silverman's fucking boom since I pushed her? Holy shit!
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you don't know who she is?
No.
And the crazy thing is, the crazy thing is she gets like 80K views a fucking video.
That's
like with
she did kind of blow up out of nowhere. Like I never heard of her until you like shouted her out. But she does good stuff.
She is really clear and concise, and like she waits for the right moment to pounce on something. Like, she waits for
Alex that won the gift card. Follow me back on Twitter so I can message you. That's the very way for me to gain followers on Twitter.
Hey, back to the question, like which conservatives should we roast? I think what's entertaining is watching Chris Walker's meltdown.
You dirty, dirty, dirty liberal.
He's like
goodness.
his meltdown over the last month and a
Ghetto
half.
fascist
I haven't seen the
BLM.
meltdown. I've been every time he comes on my For You page or like I see a clip of him, I just can't do it because
That's probably the most.
I'll go watch
he's
his.
so unsettling. I don't know what it is.
It's wearing shitty blue contacts all the time for me. What are you trying to say there, bud? Why do you want your eyes to be so blue?
Yeah, he's getting in trouble at school apparently.
Good.
Right.
Watch it.
He called UCLA. He called UCLA communist on his live. And he went and posted it on his Instagram, and someone tagged me in it. I was like, "Oh my god, he did not just do that."
Oh
He's
my
like,
god!
hey,
I cannot believe it.
Oh my god.
Favorite response to like when there's some conservative that's like, oh, this person's a communist or a socialist. I'm like, damn, I wish, dude. You think I'd be out here saying what I was saying?
Oh my god.
Hey, Driven.
Dirty, dirty BLM liberal.
All those people that were like, Joe
liberal.
Joe Biden's a socialist. Oh my god. And it's just like, man, are you kidding? I
It's
wish.
really hard to get through, but if you can stomach it, look at Bob the Drag Queen and Christian Walker. Bob the Drag Queen actually like talked to him and had like a dual live situation going on where they like debated, but it was more of a discussion. And he acknowledges he doesn't think BLM is terrorist, but throughout the entire thing, he's like the BLM terrorist. Like he uses shock language to fuck with people.
Hey, Driven, really quick. I have a bunch of
in
people
Los
coming in
Angeles
for my
studying
live.
Chinese international development and French. A couple weeks ago, a bunch of leftist liberals started emailing the dean of students that my online language was hateful. Translation, they don't agree with my politics. Yesterday, UCLA publicly tweeted that the dean of students had been notified of a certain student's hateful behavior online and that they don't approve of it. Dear UCLA.
Real quick, shout out to the Danish guy in the
Yeah. You think this is helping? This is what we call counterproductive.
Just because I don't fall into your communistic, totalitarian, leftist politics doesn't mean I'm hateful. I'm truthful. I'm an America, freedom-loving patriot who supports my country.
Remember when they made fun of the left for calling Trump Hitler?
My Constitution and my President, Donald J. Trump. Your communistic scare tactics to try to scare me out of my rights, to try to scare me out of supporting my country, won't work on me. I'm not scared of you. I have a constitutional right to my freedom of speech, and I will always use it to support my country.
That's enough of
But
that.
education's not a right. Don't you know that? That's what your side wants, is that education's not a right.
Yeah,
So
it's like when you paid them to go to their school, you agree to essentially their terms of service, and if you violate it, they can kick you out. So,
Kind of like that gay baker thing.
do you want them to be like more regulated so they can't censor your speech, or
Okay, I can say this because I'm gay, but his video about how we need more strong Republican men out there on my trip, like I can't, like, bro, you're talking about strong, masculine Republican men. Look, there are mirrors all over your house. Well, I hope so. I can't tell with the outfits he puts together, but like, you know, like, bro, like you're out there, like doing your thing. And I get that you're a male cheerleader, but so was I. This was a male cheerleader too, bro. Like, I don't act like, oh, he's so stupid. I mean, what do we expect?
Well, I mean, like, isn't he like legitimately getting paid to put this out? I mean, like, he is essentially like, I mean, like, I'm pro sex work, but like, he is like selling his body and he's selling his image in a way so that way, like, certain Republicans can be like, oh, this is my one minority person that I can point to that agrees with my beliefs.
They present as a standard. He wants to be an exception that they're going to present as a standard and parade around for everybody. And they say, well, what about Christian Walker? Can you name 4 others? I'll wait.
yeah, it's like that rally Trump did several years ago where he pointed into the crowd and said, "Look at my African American."
Yeah,
the one,
well, I mean,
the
like,
one black guy at the rally. Like, look at my African American.
Look at
Do
that.
y'all remember like the obscene amount of like terrible identity politics they used during the Republican National Convention this year? They were just like pushing people that were obviously like heavily scripted and were being paid so much to just sit up there and lie.
Yeah,
And then it's the left that's obsessed with like identity politics. And like, I mean, the colloquial usage of the term identity politics isn't like what identity politics actually is, but I'm using the colloquial definition for it. It's like you guys use identity politics so much because people think identity politics is only about race and sexuality and gender, but it's also class. Because like the Republican Party like heavily relies on like the identity politics of class because they're like, oh well, them elitist liberals don't really know what they're talking about. You're a blue collared working class American citizen that actually knows the thing, and it's just like, I don't know what they're spewing.
Republican.
So driven.
Poor people voting for rich people, keeping them poor.
Hold on, what?
Yes, a poor person voting
Tommy,
for rich, keep
real quick.
A bunch of the people from my live came in here. I don't know if you want to tell everyone how to donate again if they want to, or
yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you want to donate, if you're on here, let me share my screen again real quick. Alex, I'm putting together your card here. Just give me a few seconds here. Get my screen up there. Yes, if you want to donate, and this is the page, it'll take you. Hold on, let me. Damn, there's so many steps. Okay, but the link is in the description. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the description of this video. It takes you to this page. If you want one of the rewards, you tap on the rewards thing right here, and it'll have $10. We'll shout out any social media you want. $20 will roast your TikTok page or somebody you want us to roast. You know what? We're flexible in this bitch. Then we have the $50. I'll make a TikTok on any political topic you want. If you want to just donate, you hit this button. You can put in your email address, the donation amount. You can do it anonymously. It's pretty standard there. Yeah. So yeah, that link is in the description. Or if you're on Twitch, okay, you can go to my page, and then in the About section, you go to the panels, and it's the very first panel. It says Donate to Charity, and it'll pop you right on to the Shim Sham there, and same rules apply. So that is.
Do you want to send me that link so I can put it in my link tree? I can make a video on it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yes, there are rewards.
Yeah, so that is how you donate, and just another few minutes here, and be giving away another gift card because I had one for every $100, and we hit 500 super quick, so that is dope. And yeah, we're just gonna keep right on rolling with that.
Yeah.
You dirty BLM liberal commies.
Dirty.
You have to like throw your hands up.
With your socialist agenda of feeding people.
Liberals.
Wait, have you guys seen that? I think his name
Oh God, that took a lot out of me.
And his whole content is making fun of Christian Walker.
Yeah, no.
That does impressions of Ben Shapiro.
Did you see he got mad at him?
So bad. I want them to have a conversation so bad. Like,
oh my God.
One is Ben, one is Christian. That would be great. Oh my God.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, right? Because I've had time off and stuff. But it's really, really bizarre, like how often the Republicans and the conservatives in this country always preface something good that's happened by saying, like for instance, the economy. They'll always bring up minorities. Well, it's like the lowest unemployment for black. It's like, what? When do you see? I don't really see people on the left doing that. It's such a weird thing, right? Like I constantly see it from the right, but I'm not seeing it from the left. Obviously there's identity politics on the left, right? But I'm seeing it so often where they're bringing up like how it's helped minorities, where it's like, I just feel like you shouldn't, right? If your policies affect minorities in a good way, then they should. You don't have to like qualify everything you've fucking done by it helped the minority communities as well. It just seems so like just baiting. Like,
and in terms of that conversation, like say what you will about President Obama, but can you imagine if he would have come out and said something like that? People would have been like, "Oh, you're pandering to black people," like
right.
They would have just jumped on him, right? But then President Trump can go out there like scandals don't exist anymore with him, right? Like I remember when I was a kid, like anything that went wrong with a president, like everybody jumped on him. Everyone was so afraid to like slip up, and this guy could literally go out there and say whatever he wants. He let go.
Yeah, it's I have black friends surrounded by a policy. That's
it's wild. It's wild.
Well, I mean, like also, it's only white people saying what Trump has done for the black community, and the ones that are saying it, again, exceptions presented as standards. Like you don't have the whole group, but it's like, okay, so he's created even less unemployment in the black community. Has he yet given them an affordable like living wage? Do they have a living wage? Like,
answer's no.
The job
Also, let's like go back a little bit earlier this week and remember some emails that came out, since they love talking about emails revolving around how they knew that COVID was going to affect people of color worse than white people, and their response was, don't tell anybody because it's an election year.
Yeah.
Literally everything they went after they actually did.
Yeah, is there any of Trump's policies which lowered unemployment? Trump has policies? This is new to me.
But see, that's the thing, and it's when you have a talk with somebody about, they always bring up these arbitrary numbers that really aren't even a good judge of the economy. Like things like the unemployment rate aren't necessarily especially the unemployment rate that we use. The U6 unemployment rate is a much better judge of, unemployment in America. But, if somebody's working a job for $12 an hour, I mean, they're still not, they're not making it, and it doesn't show people if they're underemployed, and that's what we have a lot of in America right now. That's the biggest issue, is people are underemployed, and well, not even now people aren't employed at all, but even before this, I mean, when in Trump's booming economy, you had 70% of people living paycheck to paycheck, and it wasn't working for a lot of people.
I
was gone.
You know that like when you're in class and you do a group project, and that person that was never at any of the meetings, didn't do any of the work, they stand up there and they try to take control. Like, this is what we're talking about today, and you look at them like, if you show up in the last, that's Trump. Like, all this shit was done before him, and now he's stepping up like, hey, look what I did. Fuck all the way off. And you know what? It doesn't surprise me that the people that support him are like undereducated, because it was always the undereducated kid that was like jumping in and being like, hey, let me tell you how this project's going to go and what we did. Okay, my husband just texted me making human soup.
Oh.
I don't know how to take that.
As a vegan, I approve.
Save the children.
My husband wanted to go vegan, so I tweeted something like stone up.
Whatever happened to that vegan teacher? She's still around?
Oh gosh, I hope not. I can't talk about veganism on my page because of her. Because everyone will be like, oh, so now you don't care about human rights. I'm like, my entire page is me talking about human rights. And I go, I don't eat pigs. And people are like, I can't believe that you are racist, homophobic. And I'm like, I'm literally gay, but okay. I can't.
Yeah, Lily's wild. She went at Gordon Ramsay.
Of course.
I was waiting on him to respond, but he's not gonna.
No.
That's below him.
It'd be funny if he did, though.
Continuing to platform her is just not good for anyone.
I can't believe so many did we lose. Oh,
sorry, that's mine.
Get the block is hot.
Tommy's like, yeah.
You forgot Ivanka created 14 million jobs. Yeah, right.
We've got.
It's mild out there tonight.
I live like 3 blocks from a train track, so there will inevitably be a train at some point. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know. All right, Alex, by the way, I just sent your gift card via Tweeter. So just got that in. Bam. All right, should we finish this video? I mean, it's an entertainment. Oh. Blake, do the impression.
No, thanks.
And get over it. I'm a triple major honors student at the University of California, Los.
So once all this election stuff is done and Trump's in for 4 more years,
I'm a triple.
Oh, he's got this one. Oh God.
Hi, I'm Kai.
Oh, this,
I'm a member of the.
This kid is.
Oh no! Get him off! Don't
Oh, is this
platform
the
him.
guy you're talking about?
Get
American
him off!
nationalist
Do
and
not
paleo
platform
conservative.
him.
I am a staunch social conservative, and
Hi.
I believe that America is a Christian country. My economics are mixed, but I put the worker and families first.
He's such a. Oh, he's
Oh,
so.
winning.
I'm a triple major honors student.
Dance
There
around
are
it the whole
so
time.
many dog whistles in every single one
Holy
of Kai's
crap.
videos.
Who
He is
talks
a-
like that?
Straight up. Straight up.
I basically I just think white people are the best and only white people. And did I mention white power and also white
Like
power?
the thing about Kai Clips is that he got his like popularity and his following because he debated someone that was like a leftist, and I forgot who it was, but he definitely lost that debate. And this is why like I have mixed feelings on debating. I'm borderline anti-debate at this point. Kai got so owned in like that debate, but his following still grew as a result of losing that debate. I think when it comes to conservatives, that's one thing, debating conservatives, but Kai like has so many dog whistles that shows that he is a fascist. He is a staunch fascist, especially if you read his article where he says he's not only anti-illegal immigration, but also anti-legal immigration. That is straight up fascistic tendencies, but because he's able to put a friendly, nice face on it, people will be like, oh, he's so civil, unlike all of those other conservatives, so I'll hear him out. But he has really strong fascistic undertones, and he continues to grow because people continue to go ahead and debate him and befriend him because he's one of the nice conservatives, but he's just a fascist. And that's one thing fascists understand. They understand the value of optics, which is why they're going to continue to put people out like Kai, because he can seem like he's not a fascist because he's all nice and sweet, but he's still pushing that ideology out ultimately.
Amen. Yeah, no, he puts it in he's in the Republican hype house now. He puts it in a nice little package, but it's still the same, you know.
He gives me the creeps.
Because he's a fascist, because he really is.
And I go back to your point about debating, like, I don't really support debating either, because I do Tyler Blumman loses every debate he goes into, and then all his followers just love it. You know, they're like, oh, he won that. And his followers just keep going up. So, I mean,
exactly.
This guy was saying ridiculous things, and it just never comes back to bite him. It's just the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, I'll go in there like, man, yeah, go ahead.
Well, the thing about debate is that when you debate someone, the implication, whether or not it's intentional or not, is that person's ideas is worthy of debate. And I'm sorry, but certain ideas aren't worthy of debate. There are ideas that should be deplatformed because they are very dangerous. I mean, we know fascistic ideas are dangerous. Did we not remember what happened in the 1930s? Like, we know these ideas don't deserve a platform. And that's the problem with the whole free marketplace of ideas kind of mentality, is that just like real life capitalism, the best quality idea isn't going to win. The most marketable one is. So it's just kind of superfluous to engage in debate like that, in my opinion.
Indeed.
During my time off, I've been doing a lot of reading about fascism, delving. Oh, LJ's gone. No.
Oh, there
I'll be right back.
Delving really, really deep into the social implications that led to fascism. And what's amazing to me is a few things that I've learned. They got a ton of help from conservatives to the point where they were intertwined, right? And that's sort of what's happening now. It's like the lines, it's almost like, obviously it's not the same as it was in Italy or Germany now, but it's almost like these people like Trump are like the enforcement wing of the conservative party, or the conservatives, right? Because one of the things that fascism thrives in is when there's deadlock and they're not able to find a solution through legal means. They have the fascists come along with means that are outside of that. They're illegal means, but they still go along with it because it helps get things done, things that they would already want. They find it a necessary evil. And it's like so many comparisons drawing between now and 1930s Germany and 1920s Italy.
Yeah, I was trying to do a video on that, but it's very hard to talk about the fall of the Weimar Republic in 60 seconds. Like, it's like,
imagine that.
because like the Weimar Constitution was actually really, really well written. Like if you look at it in terms of like the rights that were inscribed in it and everything, it's pretty ironclad. But it's the way that like Tommy mentioned, the way that conservatives essentially thought that Hitler would be a means to an end to get their goals. They felt like he was so far out there that nobody actually would really, at the end of the day, support him. They felt like he was a tool that they could manipulate. Yeah. And then obviously Reichstag fire, enabling act, he scares the shit out of communists and everybody else they don't even show up that day. They've got people with guns standing in parliament the day that they vote to give him dictatorial power. Like, I mean, we've seen this movie before.
Yeah. Right. I feel like that's like sort of what the conservatives are doing now. They're just using, and they have, right? They've used Trump to get everything that they've wanted passed. Now they've created this monster they can't control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate that Joe Biden has already kind of caved to the idea of, oh, once Trump is gone, the fever will break. Like, dude, no, that is completely
what was that
the wrong idea.
It was on January 20th, the healing will begin.
No.
Yeah, no, it won't. On January 20th, Donald Trump spends 4 years referring to himself as the president in exile. Like, he's just going to be campaigning for the next 4 years. Which is why every Republican senator that spent time trying to play for that base, because they're planning on running in 4 years, like to legitimize his claims that the election was stolen, why they have so overplayed their hand and screwed themselves, because they do not understand that Trump is not going to give up his base. He's not going to let them have it. That is his. He views it as literal property. And he's going to continue to stoke that for 4 years for him. And he's going to think you're going to be with him since you supported his claims that the election was stolen during the lame duck period. So you've vastly overplayed I'm talking directly to Tom Cotton. I'm talking to my own senator here who has the charisma of a goddamn tree stump. He cannot run for president. Oh, I hate him so much.
Like, and this is like, going on into the future, right? Everyone thinks that once this election is over and Biden's president, that's it. No, right? In Italy, it took over a decade for him to take power, right? It was this swelling of their government systems failing them over and over and over again, like we're watching in the United States, right? Failing them over and over and over again, and then there's a significant break, and they can take over actual power as opposed to just complain about how bad the power is. That problem's not getting fixed with Joe Biden. There's no fix.
No,
really?
This is fucking.
We use too many buzzwords. This is shutting us down.
No, that's not delivered.
But this is a good plug. Read the Antifa handbook. I know that Antifa gets a really bad rap right now, and I'm sad because Joe Biden kind of plays into it. But Antifa is just anti-fascism. And the fact that America is trying to make Antifa the scary thing when it's just being anti-fascist, anti-Nazi, that's a big red flag, guys. Don't be afraid.
Dwight Eisenhower would like a word.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is something I've noticed recently, is that the people that are against Antifa and against BLM, they're much more bloodthirsty now than they were even a month ago. That video I made showing the riots and the Proud Boys in downtown DC, I must have gotten 50 duets from of people being like, "Oh right, yeah, Proud Boys," then like cheering on violence. And the comment section is a fucking nightmare, a bigger nightmare than most of my videos. Like they're getting more and more bloodthirsty as they come to the realization that Trump is not going to be president.
Yeah, so well, so I have this one stylist in my salon, and her entire clientele are Trumpers. She's conservative, but she's not really a Trumper. But her entire clientele is. So I made sure to wear my radical leftist sweater yesterday, my hoodie, to work, just to make sure they all see it. And when I walked in, my boss is like, "Hey, how was your week?" Because I had to stay out because of close contact with another coworker that had COVID-19. And then I walk in, she's like, "So what'd you do with your time off?" I was like, "I did a few Antifa like a lot, and then I filmed a few other things." And so, I'm just really working on that. And they would look at me, and I'm like, yeah, like the way they see Antifa, and I have Republican in-laws, and they bring up Antifa. I'm like,
I'm like, Proud Boys are centralized. That's a problem. Antifa is not centralized. Like, you can't be in Antifa. That's not how it works. And I like when they bring up Antifa, I'm like, yeah, I Antifa today 2 times. Like, I so hard, you know. And they're like,
hey, girl, you want Antifa?
Yeah.
Unironically, yes.
I know I'm to people that like are like Antifa is this and that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go commit an Antifa. Like I always throw it back in their face that the way they're presenting it is a fucking joke. That it's
Stephen
not
Colbert's next book needs to be "I am Antifa, and so can you."
Amen.
I think it like so. To speak on the violence really quick, because I think this is a big topic, right? They're doing to Antifa what the Germans and the Italians did to communists, right? Making them this they're both subhuman and superhuman, right? Both at the same time. But it's weird to me because the violence that was occurring in Nazi Germany and in Italy by the fascists were not legal in any sense. They were testing the water. So if, like, for instance, if someone, like for Kyle Rittenhouse, let's assume Kyle Rittenhouse was in Nazi Germany, whatever. If he goes to prison, right?
My daddy's daddy was there.
What? If they go to prison, if he goes to prison, right? They just look at it like the state's corrupt. So if he gets off, it emboldens them. If he goes to prison, it emboldens them. And so you're having this situation where these people are getting emboldened no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Either getting angry at the state or they're getting angry at the communists.
The more they don't believe Trump is like, the more they don't believe Biden's going to be the president come January 20th, the more like shock it is going to be for them when he does, and then they're going to react violently. It's like an adult coming out of like administered ketamine. Like that's why they don't use that on adults.
Did you guys see the truck driver guy?
No.
The hold on, I'll find it. It's so this guy's like he's like a truck driver and he's like Biden's gonna be president or not gonna be president, and it's hilarious.
There was a weird parade yesterday in Vancouver, Washington, by my work. A bunch of like tow trucks, like they had their lights on and stuff, and they were doing this parade near the Vancouver Mall. I was really confused by it because there was no real message. Like I was like, is this for Trump? Is it for like Christmas? Like did like the firemen phone this one in and tell you guys to handle it? Like is the funding not low? Like what is happening that tow trucks need to do? Like there was like 40 tow trucks. Like one was painted military, like fatigue. So I'm like, okay, this might be a little Trump. But like, you know, cosplaying out here, they're gonna go like, I don't know, tow a tank somewhere. I don't know what the fuck their deal was, but there was a bunch of them. Like, and they all looked like they were wearing gas station sunglasses, if you know what I mean. Like, I can't. Like, I can't with them. Like, I just can't do it, man. Like, I see all these like guys, these like Proud Boys, for example. They are running amok and acting a fool where they know they have a safe space. This is like they always talk about liberals and the left wanting a safe space and blah 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 blah. But they only do things in safe spaces. Like I said, white people are really like you really know who's racist if you're a white person because they feel safe space and they feel like they can just say whatever around you and they wait for your reaction. But at the same time, like the Proud Boys are not going to roll into my hometown, Long Beach, California, acting a fool the way they do. They get stomped out before they even have a chance to even start, do stuff. Like that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen where I'm from. They will get rolled over, chewed up, spit out, thrown in the trash, and then like that'll be that. Like it would be done. Like, and so all these people are like, oh, I'm so scared that everyone's getting nervous about this. And yeah, it's a scary concept because they are going to be violent, but they're only going to be violent where they can be violent. They're not going to be violent in a place where they can't. And like they keep talking, I'm like, come to the city. Like we know the city. You don't know the city. You have all these like boys that are from like backwoods, like swamp lands. And I'm like, how many people were in your high school? 60? You had 60. Have you ever been jumped in a bathroom? No. Have you ever been the only one to walk out when you were the one that got jumped? No, shut up. Like you're not.
They just.
I don't know if you guys watch Sam Cedar, but he's pretty base. But yeah, just check. This is pretty funny.
Close. God bless America, everybody. Guess what? It's a game changer. Trump's going to win the election. The alternative electoral voters have already voted for Trump in several states. Then it's going to go to Congress, and Mike Pence is going to preside over that, so we're going to win, baby!
They like make up a constitution as they go, I swear.
Right out here, driving across a fruited plain, in the name of Jesus Christ, the only name given among men under heaven. Hereby we must be saved. Hey, what happened? I'll tell you. I finally got some respect. What do you know? Yeah. Anyway, have a blessed day, man. That's the best news you're going to hear. This is a unprecedented, amazing thing. I just did a prayer for Trump, and look what happened. The next thing I know, I'm sending that to all my friends. I want you to look at the Next News Network. That's the first one coming out with it. It's amazing. All right, have a great day in Jesus' name.
Yeah. Anyway,
I did a video about this months ago about the possibilities of what's going to happen if the question that was asked to me is what happens if a candidate wins the election but dies before the inauguration, and so like you can apply the same situation. So basically what they're asking to happen, for anyone watching that does not already know, I assume most of the people here do. I don't mean to talk to you all like you're 5, but to anyone that doesn't know, what happens on January 6th is Congress meets in a joint session. They count the electoral votes, but the only way to overturn the election is a member of Congress from each chamber has to object to either an individual elector or that entire state. And then after the objection from each member of each chamber is done, they break off out of the joint session. They go into their individual chambers, they debate, and then they have a vote on whether or not to sustain the objection or overrule it. And unless both chambers vote to throw out the electoral votes, they still get counted. And guess who controls the House? Not the Republicans. This is not going to happen.
Not the Republicans.
It's like...
and they're also, what is it, the 12th Amendment that they keep like bringing up about like...
They keep bringing up Article 2. They just make shit up on the fly.
I'm like, that's if there's no one made 270. Like somebody got over 270.
They're like, Article 37 says the Christian Walker and his dad are going to grab the football, run down the middle of Congress.
Christian Walker's dad going to bring his Heisman and beat Nancy Pelosi over the head with it.
After he's done beating his wife. Oh, wait. Shots fired.
Somebody's calling somebody dad. What happened?
Herschel Walker used to threaten Christian's mom, as a strong Republican man.
Yeah, screw Herschel Walker. He screwed over my team for like a good 20 years. We traded the farm for that fucking guy, and then he blew it up.
That was a good ball player.
Worst trade in NFL history.
For some strange reason, Abigail Adams, John Quincy Adams, and John Adams, we're all talking in the chat. You're missing.
I will accept ownership for that. Those are all my people. I'm sorry.
I had somebody on Twitter a while ago that was like, I got in a constitutional argument with them, right? And they were like, yeah, well, I'm a direct descendant of John Quincy Adams and blah, 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 blah. And so it's going off. And so I gave her family tree and explained to her that nobody that she listed signed the Constitution and that it was like completely irrelevant. And I'm like, do you want me to go further into your past for you? And she's like, what? Like, people in their belief of what this country stood for, has done, written, and what our documents say, like, all of them own a copy of the Constitution, but none of them have actually read it. And if they did read it, they didn't understand it. And I can clearly see how somebody would not understand it, being an English major who focused in early American lit. Like, the language isn't like what they think it. It's not like, language is arbitrary already, but like, things don't mean the same thing then that they do now. Like, perfect example is the word bully. Like, bully for you used to be like an expression meaning good for you, like congratulations. Now, when we say bully, like, no one uses it like that anymore. We're talking about like the negative of it, of bullying someone, like how we all like to do to people on the right on our TikToks, which TikTok is cracking down.
You guys ever going Clapper? You guys ever going Clapper? It's like right-wing Twitter for news, but it's like it's just so funny how they like think they've created all these new avenues for Trump to win. And like nobody else has figured it out. And where'd everybody go?
Oh no.
Apparently Clapper is a scary word. Oh wait, no. Clapper.
I'm here.
Hey, there you go. Oh, and gone.
I'm here.
Oh.
Just needed a little. Just turn the.
I'm here too. Give me a second.
Bam. There he is. Yeah.
I'm just every time LJ does it, I'm gonna do it just to fuck with it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are gonna get somebody.
He thinks he's so fucking cool. I can do it too. LJ.
I can do this.
Okay, weird flex, but sure. He's in control.
We're all showing off our fancy tricks. No, I went over it. I made an account like a month ago, and I went over it a little bit on my live the other night. But it is just like super right wing Twitter or TikTok basically, and they have all these like thoughts and theories about like what's actually going to go down, and it's very interesting to say the least. And a lot of QAnon stuff, which is basically, you know, what's crazy? All these theories. They mostly originate in like QAnon Twitter. Like QAnon Twitter is basically the GOP talking points 2 days later. Like it'll start on QAnon Twitter, it'll formulate for like a day or two, and then by Wednesday of that week,
it's on Newsmax.
It's on Fox News, being said by Stephen Miller or something.
Dat boy Vic. First of all, can we all agree not to call him Stephen Miller and call him Little Stevie Miller? Because he's never going to be anything else to me. He's a little fucking shit. And like I've said a million times, I want to cage fight Little Stevie Miller and Jared Kushner at the same time. I'll wear gloves and they can go bare knuckle. And I promise you, it'll be the quickest fight you've ever seen. Anyhow, yeah. So that boy Victor or whatever that we were like making fun of earlier, when I was in his live, somebody kept bringing up QAnon stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't really know. I don't know too much about the QAnon. He's like trying to avoid QAnon altogether. And I'm like, bro, everything you're talking about originated in QAnon. You just waited till it got on Newsmax before you started saying something. Like, I didn't care because I was reporting him for all kinds of shit because petty as fuck. And I don't care. I'll admit it. I am petty. I learned an entire language. Call somebody out. That's how petty I am. But like he's in there like freezing up, and I'm like, dude.
Newsmax
is
Hollywood.
I actually heard about
like if like a local sports station, but like for politics. Like I'm making a video right now for my YouTube channel, like a long form video about like a day in the news cycle with Newsmax. Like what you would get, what kind of information you would get if you just watch Newsmax for a day. And it is interesting to say the least. Right now, their big thing is that because Kamala Harris hasn't given up her Senate seat yet, she knows that the storm is coming.
Kamala.
So the first time I actually heard about QAnon was through a coworker, and this guy would just play videos off QAnon in our work truck on our way to different job sites. And like about a month into it, like I just wasn't really paying attention, but like a month into it, we got into like a political conversation. He told me he was a Proud Boy. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then I would just ask him questions about it, and it was just really wild. And long story short, we would argue, randomly throughout like the coming months. And this guy actually got fired for saying some really negative things about Jewish people and immigrants. And this is my only experience.
My like exposure to QAnon, very wild. So my ex was a conspiracy theorist, and he was a Jewish conspiracy theorist. And I remember getting into really intense arguments with him, being like, "These have anti-Semitic roots." Like it was so wild. He'd be like, "Well, those are like a different kind of Jewish people. I'm not that kind of Jewish person." I'm like, "What's going on here? I don't understand what's happening." Obviously, yeah, he's an ex for a reason. So
I can see that distinction that a lot of Jewish people make, where I'm this kind of Jewish, not that kind of Jewish, because Christians do it all the time. I'm this kind of Christian, not that kind of Christian. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, like I was raised Presbyterian, but I'm like, all Christians are fucked, and Presbyterians are cool, but like still, they're all fucked. I left the church and I left following the religion because I realized I could be less judgmental not being involved with the church than I had to be when I was involved with the church. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can I just say that I love the fact right now that over in the chat, I see my favorite Abigail Adams quote of all time, which is QAnon is Looney Tunes for real, for real.
For real.
For real, not for
yeah. I do remember that quote well.
It's like that TikTok I sent you, Driven, where it's like leftist conspiracy theories. Oh yeah, the CIA definitely shot that guy, and then right-wing conspiracy theories are just crazy out there.
Yeah.
Again, we need to up our lore on the left. Okay, they have like Lord of the Rings, like alternate universe on the right, guys.
That's why I always laugh when someone like, oh, well, the left has conspiracies too. What about Russiagate? It's like, dude, don't even fucking start that. It's the same.
Yes. The leftist that is chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Marco Rubio of Florida.
Right, yeah.
Well, this is what I say to people like that. I'm like, why does that matter? Like, whether he did it or didn't do it, how does that matter right now? Because it didn't matter when he did, and it doesn't matter if you think he didn't. Nothing of that whole situation is actually having any play in what's going on now. So it doesn't matter.
When people went to jail,
why does it matter? No matter what, you're not going to believe. Why does it matter?
I mean, that level, like, one of the things I find that interesting too. One of the things, it's like, it's funny to look at the parallels between, fascism and the United States. But one of the things is wild and outlandish conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, the left has conspiracy theories, but they're all rude.
Right.
There's evidence.
They're all pretty mild.
Yeah.
I think to the most conspiratorial stuff, like about Trump. Like they'll give like Trump too much credit, think he's going to go too far. Like Michael Moore was like, oh, Bill Barr's going to come in on election night and seize the ballot boxes or something like that. Which, I mean, if he could actually pull off, I think he might try to do. I don't think he's smart enough to do it. But people on the left will push stuff like that. But it's not lizard people and eating children.
I think it's
stuff like that. It's not that level.
I think it's more acceptance of that your conspiracy theory wasn't right, because QAnon's just like, oh, they find another reason, find another thing. It's always going to be another thing.
You know what I mean?
It's an infinite onion. We're just peeling back the layers of crazy.
Exactly.
Conspiracies on the left.
Anti-vax, everything.
Conspiracy theories. Like anything that's a conspiracy theory on the left, I don't talk about that shit. When people come at me with like, oh, this, and I'm like, that's conspiracy. Like the left, I'm like, okay, but am I that person on the left? I'm not talking about conspiracies. You are. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I can back up what I'm saying. I have receipts. You do not have receipts. Like, the way they connect things on the right is so fucking far gone. Like, the sky is blue and the water is blue. You know what else starts with blue? Or you know what else is blue? Democrats. And because of that, Democrats are controlling the environment. And that's why they think global warming. And you're like, you just made a connection out of the most random shit.
Right.
Like, how theirs works. There's like, it's like this half-ass, soft, mediocre connection that has nothing to do with anything else. But that's what makes it seem like something like that. And it's like,
yeah. I mean, even my coworker I was telling you guys about, he would stop the truck and take pictures of 5G cell towers, like everywhere we were at. He would like, oh my God, 5G. And then he'd pull the truck over, get out and snap pictures. And I'm just like, oh my God, bro.
So how many people do you have? How many people do y'all have either in your immediate family or in your immediate friend group that think that COVID is man-made?
None.
Most.
My Florida friends, I would say about half of them do.
About half of them, yeah.
In Florida, yeah. I grew up in Tampa, and a lot of like my Facebook friends and stuff are.
You can just stop at Florida. We get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, my family.
Say about Florida. I'm like, when someone's like, "Oh, I'm from Florida," the rest of the country goes, "Here we go."
Yeah.
It's some kind of crazy.
Even Republicans are like, "Oh God, fucking Florida Republicans." It's not like my in-laws are the ones that are Republican. The furthest that they've gone in COVID conspiracy is that it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
My favorite thing right now is everyone that's like, oh, did you hear about those 2 people that almost died from the shot? You care about 2 people that almost died from a shot that didn't really even happen, but you think these 2 people died from a shot and you care about those 2 people. However, the 300,000 people that have died from the actual disease, that's nothing. That's only 1% or 2% or whatever. But like the 2% that react to this medication, all of a sudden you care about 2%. Like, pick a battle, because it's not. It's so stupid to me. I've learned real quick though, because having my conservative stylist coworker, and her like my boss is extremely left. Like I would get fired for not being left enough. I say that all the time, but it's true. And when her clients start spitting off these conspiracies, my station is probably about 6 feet from hers because we have social distancing. I'll turn in the middle of doing it. I'll be in the middle of a haircut. I'll go, no. And I'll go back to what I'm doing. I've learned real quick with a lot of these people, when you're in person conversation, and they start bringing up these conspiracies and whatnot, if you just say no, nope, no, like you just shut them down with no, they get frustrated and they shut up. You just keep saying no to them.
Yeah, I always just change the conversation to sports. So, like, oh, that's cool.
Change it to sports.
See the Seahawks play this weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah, how's the record?
All right, here, real quick, hold on. Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta bang out these. What the hell? What page is it? Oh, this one. All right, anybody that's watching, if you go to my last YouTube video, which is this one, the Chris Krebs shuts down voter fraud allegations. All right, go to that video. See this one? Because like only a few of y'all are doing it. And type giveaway, just like that, just like I have it on the screen there. Oh shit! Let me pop that up.
I'm gonna start participating.
There we go. Yeah, type giveaway in that video. Okay, and then in about 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna pick a random comment out of this generator thing, and whoever the generator picks gets a $25 gift card. So go to my last video, type giveaway, just like that, and then I will pick one of those commenters, and they will get a $25 gift card. So there's like 50 of y'all here. One of y'all will get it. So yeah, type giveaway. Go to this video. Chris Krebs shuts down voter fraud allegations. And bam. And then I'll pick the comment in like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, the thing about QAnon, man, and the reason it's grown so big is because a lot of people did shut it down, at first. But these people, they grow into these communities, and it becomes like their whole thing. Like the more that I like researched Q and looked into Q, like it becomes these people. It's their whole like kind of livelihood. Like 10, 12 hours a day, they're on Twitter just looking into all, whether it's kids' cartoons or re-looking at the drops and going on these aggregator sites and looking at it again and finding different meaning in a new thing or an old thing. It just becomes like this big, long, like conspiracy role-playing LARP thing. And they're like super secret detectives. And then, of course, Trump, he gets into it by retweeting all these accounts, and he makes them like think it's really doing something. And it just becomes a whole big fucking like it just becomes a insane conspiracy tree.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what Tommy was saying. Like when Tommy was talking about earlier.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. No, but yeah. So basically, like
videos. So when it comes from Trump, he's the president, so he has access to all the knowledge. He has access to all the secret government shit. So he, as the president, I'm pretty sure this is true. He can declassify anything he wants when he wants. So if he's retweeting something, they're going to be like, well, it's coming from the president that they fully believe in. So it's got to be true. Like the president said so. Like, okay.
Well, he really just fed life into it because a lot of these accounts didn't get their start, and they didn't become big and grow a lot of followers until he retweeted them. Basically anything he touches, the conservatives just, latch onto. So a lot of these accounts on Twitter that, had 20, 30,000 followers, he retweets one thing, bam, they have 200,000 followers, and they have a huge reach, and they become credible. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of how it grows from there.
Yeah, I mean, Trump started years ago, man, with his birther movement. So he kind of brought, conspiracy theories to the forefront in politics before he ran. And it's crazy when there was like that birth certificate for President Obama when it said he was born in Africa, in Kenya, but the date was wrong, right? So like it's like Republic of Kenya, but
the date was before Kenya was even established.
Exactly. It was like 2 years before Kenya was a republic. And then, but that damn birth statement made the rounds on the internet. Like I saw that on Twitter, I saw it on Facebook. It was just ridiculous.
Well, that really put him in the national spotlight, and it's crazy that it's crazy how far, like just from the time I've been kind of watching and paying attention to politics and kind of involved in politics, how far we've fallen from, like you were talking about earlier. When I was a little kid, a sex scandal was the biggest thing, national news for months at a time. And now the Stormy Daniels stuff didn't crack the top 5 stories on any given day, just because who cares? We're so far removed from that.
And it blows my mind because like I grew up in a Christian family. Like my whole family has been involved in the church like since my grandparents, and they just will push this, pray for our president, and this guy's a man of God, and all these things, and it's just incredibly just misguided, and it just blows my mind. That's why I told you guys earlier, like most of the people around me are conspiracy theorists and Republicans.
What chapter was that, real quick?
Yeah, it's just
one where it talks about the devil incarnate becoming the savior. I do know that evangelicals believe that the first person to be called the Messiah is actually the devil, and it's the second person to be called the Messiah that's actually the Messiah. So nobody else has been called the Messiah yet except for Trump, and they seem to back him hard. So I'm not sure if they're like rewriting their narrative to fit their like dissonance, but
and that's why I have a special kind of like, I really, really despise the Republicans and conservatives in this country, like an extra amount. Like I am the radical leftist here, and I have my problems with establishment Democrats, and like I often do critique them, but at least they're not as just straight up evil as the Republican Party is, as they like weaponize these people's spirituality, and they're like they completely make them exist on a completely different plane of reality. QAnoners, like they live in a completely different world than we do, and they know that all of these things they know all of these things are factually incorrect. They know that they're lies, but they continue to put people in the dark and make them suffer just so they can maintain power.
And it's not, we're talking about the big scale of QAnon, right? With that, there's somebody that started QAnon. There's one person that came up with the idea and either told other people to help them start it or what. But there's one person out there that is responsible for all of this shit that comes out of QAnon. QAnon, like conspiracy theories that QAnon supporters have helped create on their own, would not have had that platform to help create it and spread it if it wasn't for that one fucking person that started QAnon in the beginning.
I think one person, I'm not sure who started it, but it's definitely been more than one person at this point.
Sideways.
There's a I think he's on his phone probably, huh?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For the children.
There's probably, at this point, it's definitely been, there's actually a data research firm that looked into it, and they said it's been at least 2 people that have posted the Q drops just based on how they write them and stuff. One person I think it is definitely Jim Watkins, who owns the site 8chan, which is where Q posts. But it's definitely been more than at least more than one. But yeah, I am curious at who actually started it, because like it's crazy about 8chan is there's been several different like Anon accounts. There was R-Anon. There was like CIA Anon. Like these things just kind of started back in like 2015, 2016, kind of throughout the years. And Q is the one that just like caught on and like caught fire and like ran fucking
around
into what it is now. What's up?
I feel like they all started around the time of Snowden.
Yeah. Snowden like 2015.
That would make sense because he got all that popularity. And what is everybody chasing? Everyone's chasing some form of celebrity. Everyone's chasing some form of celebrity for whatever their like reason being is different. Like I'll admit I'm chasing celebrity, but I chase celebrity so that way I can help get like the right message out versus the wrong message out. Like I know that celebrity is a tool for that. Some people just have no shame and they'll chase celebrity in any way they can get it. Reality TV, like Christian Walker.
All right, let's go ahead and drum roll. Let's give away another gift card here real quick.
I'm being told by Alexander Hamilton to turn my phone.
I told
You have all these fancy people that tell you stuff.
Hang on.
Okay,
Does
I
that,
do have-
okay, did that,
All right.
did that work? I mean, it looks,
Comment.
see now on mine, it looks like I'm upside down, like on my little preview thing.
And the winner is Hillary Faye 20. Hillary Faye 20. Come on down.
You're
You
the
get
next
a brand
contestant.
new car.
She looks like a winner.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, wait, now you're side. No, that doesn't work.
It doesn't?
No.
See, they
Who
told me to
hissed?
turn it sideways.
Yeah, well, that person's wrong.
Alexander Hamilton. You heard it
Well,
here first, folks. He's wrong.
The $10 founding father without a father is wrong. Because
Don't
you
go for
just
him like
turned-
that.
it does help for some people, but I don't know. Maybe your phone just did. Yeah.
I mean, it looks right on my phone, although it's like I'm in window mode.
Has anybody watched that show, Sleepy Hollow? I'm asking like Blake's followers that are in here playing.
Hillary Faye, what is your Twitter and/or Instagram? Just put that in the comments, and then I'll message you. What were you saying?
I was saying, okay, because I'm only getting this question, or I'm asking this question because of Alexander Hamilton, John Quincy Adams, Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr and Alexander were arguing.
These are all people from Blake's.
Of course, they're
community.
they are all from mine.
And I was like, you know what? Give me some peanut butter. Got milk?
Yeah,
Like,
fake
oh my god, yes.
That might have been a throwback for way too many people. Like, you know, LJ is probably like 12. How old are you, LJ?
I'm 27.
Me too.
Same difference.
See, when you're my age, everybody younger than you is just 12 automatically.
I'm not even the youngest person in this chat right now, in this live.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, you might be now.
Second youngest.
Or he's gone.
Blake, how old are you?
27.
Ooh, we got a tie. Tori's the youngest.
Yeah,
My birthday was in November.
There's that show on Fox, Sleepy Hollow. Have you guys watched that?
Yes.
So
I've seen the Johnny Depp movie.
No, fuck, whatever. Okay, so the show. Okay, so the main character is what's his nuts?
Came back to me because he's like,
Help me out.
Realized like I should have.
Sleepy Hollow. What's the dude?
I can't remember.
Crane. And he's like brought back. He's brought back to life in the future, some shit like that. And all of this like American history we have and how washed it is. Like when because he's in Sleepy Hollow, whatever. Every time they bring up somebody like a president in the past, he's like, no, and he like corrects the history on it. And so like while I was watching this, because U.S. history was my minor, he was saying a lot of things that I'm like, I started thinking about it. It's like it's not 100% accurate, but it's so close to accuracy. And I'm like, how is a show on Fox, which I know Fox is an entertainment channel, and like they want to get rid of Family Guy so bad because Family Guy drags them, but Family Guy brings them so much money they can't get rid of it. Oh man, I love Seth MacFarlane for that shit. But yeah, like people that were dealing with like QAnon and that they think they know the Constitution, all that, their educations, and I'm going to be generous here, don't go past high school. And I say generous because I feel like a lot of them didn't get past 8. But like,
high school got like 100 people in it.
But like they don't, and what you're taught in grade school, once you get into like, I tell people all the time, sign up at your community college and just take a basic U.S. history class, like 100 level. Just take that. You will quickly learn everything that you knew not to be true, and they will give you the evidence to show what it really was, and they show you what parts were taken out and how they all connect. That to make it look so like nice and like sweet, and we're taught like slavery was forever ago, but at the same time,
slavery is still here right now. There's still slavery in America.
Yeah, but like I mean, what we're taught is slavery, but like the obvious definition of slavery, and you look at it and like there's so many people on here that are like nobody was even alive anymore from segregation and Jim Crow. I'm like, homegirl that was the first student alive, and Black Don't Crack because she looked great. She looks great.
Yeah. My dad.
And Kamala was in the second round of that.
Yeah. So my dad is almost 70 years old, and he remembers when he first came to the United States and how bad it was, and his stories are wild. And then my older brother is 50, and he remembers like when they were still segregating schools and integrating schools when he was in elementary. So it's just, and that was in like the late 70s, early 80s. And that's just fucking crazy. You know, it really wasn't that long ago.
Also,
You know
those
what, though? A
who
lot of
like
people
are
love
following
to
me
do
on Twitch will
something
know
that-
that like the last couple of nights, well, what I've been doing for like the last 2 weeks almost is every night I'm doing like I'm doing a live stream based on different presidents, since we're like less than 46 days to the inauguration. So a different presidential administration every night. John Tyler still has a living grandchild. John Tyler, the 10th
I seen
president,
that.
has
Yeah.
a living grandchild.
Yes.
So
Because his wife was like 16.
Another thing that plays into this like divide that we have in this country, like I say it all the time and I wear it on my sleeve, but like I was born and raised in Long Beach, like born and raised there. It's a very diverse city. I can dance. Like I don't care what nobody says. I can dance. Like I'm a good dancer. Y'all catch my videos. Look for me. Like, you know, when you talk like that, when you walk like that, LJ, I see you sitting in your car. But like, regardless, like I was around every person of every color, of every background, of every whatever. And there was at no point in my growing up from the 80s until now that I saw anybody differently. So there are a lot of people that live in these cities that have, like come from these cities that their bubble is all this diversity. And then you have all these people in other parts of the country where it's like 60 people to their high school and everybody is white. How many times have you seen like that? I was the only black person in my school. Like that to me is such a blown out concept. For a long time, I thought there was less white people at my high school than anything else.
Yeah.
And like for me, that's like, I'm happy I was raised with that. But there are people out there that don't understand how diverse the world is because, and for myself growing up, I didn't understand how like not diverse areas were. Like
which is why like I try to show empathy, you know, for people like that they weren't exposed to that. So I don't reach for anger as much, right? As like I just want to have a conversation, especially with my time in the military. Like I was in, you know, flights with guys that never met a Samoan person in their life. You know, I had a guy ask me.
I have Samoan cousins.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're from London.
Is like there's 5 white people in it, and then the rest is all black or Samoan or a mix of black and Samoan.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a roommate, and he's from Florida, so very conservative guy. His dad is, you know, military family, and we had lots of arguments. You know, when we were just chilling in our rooms, we were talking about if racism is real, if it still happens today. And he was a hard line, no, it doesn't. There's no like forms of racism in the United States anymore. And then he and I would go out into, you know, this common room, and some guy asked me, "What do I eat?" And I was like, "What do you mean, what do I eat?" He's like, "Oh, you're Samoan, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what do you eat?" And then I look at my roommate, and he just kind of like smacks his head and just smirks. And then we go back and talk, and he's like, "Dude, that shit was crazy." I was like, I'm telling you, it's like it's not a big deal, you know, just kind of minor inconveniences over my life, but like this stuff happens and influences how people make decisions, you know. And so like,
if people don't realize how
really quick, anybody in the chat, if you guys have some questions, we can start doing some chat questions. If you guys want to start throwing those up there, then I'll pop them on screen real quick, and then we'll answer them.
Okay.
We are out in that section of the broadcast, and I got one more card we'll give away before we roll out, and then we'll do some fan questions, and we'll finish up on that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, people don't realize how much racism is built into the institution that is the United States of America. And like that's something that's it's a very hard conversation to have with someone, especially someone that's a patriot, because you realize that this country that we're in was built off of a lot of blood and suffering, abuse and exploitation. And it's really hard to have that conversation with someone. It's not very pleasant. Because I grew up in a very diverse area as well. I grew up in North Dallas, but I went to college in Appalachia, basically. And that was very paradigm shifting for me, being in a mostly white community, white conservative community, coming from a very liberal background. And I remember like the way that I pushed people left was just like having beers with a couple of guys. And that's it. Like when you have a conversation with someone and you know, because I realized that people saw me as a caricature until I sat down and I talked to them. And that's why I really focus not so much on my TikTok, but when I'm talking to people in real life on class consciousness, because everyone can relate to class. Like most people, except for like, you know, the bourgeoisie, the whatever, have worked a shitty job or are still working a shitty job or working a blue collar job. And if you're able to be like, hey, this is kind of where we merge together. And thinking that we're different or that we're enemies is not true. We have a much different enemy that's continuing to abuse and not take care of you and ultimately profit off of your own ignorance. I've noticed that's the best way to push people left is focusing on class consciousness.
I get that because I am in a unique perspective where I'm part of a marginalized community, but at the same time part of the community that oppresses. So being a gay man, like I cannot tell you, like, so back home, all my buddies are like the straight guys everyone's afraid of. And I earned their respect because I knew some of them from growing up. And then I met the rest and they didn't know I was gay when I first met them. This is when I had short hair, but like, they didn't know I was gay. So there's so many parties I'd been to or that were thrown at the house I lived in that someone's like, oh man, I hear there's a fag here. And I'm like, oh yeah? Where? I got your back. Like, and I would sit there and let them run their mouth the whole night and be like, bro, by the way, I'm that gay dude you were talking about. They're like, you don't act like any gay guy. I'm like, I'm not the gay guy you thought I was. But at the same time, on my platform, on my TikTok, I have said it several times. If you've seen any of my videos, I say, look, I'm part of a marginalized community, but I understand that in my own marginalized community, I have a privilege afforded to me because I'm a cisgender white man that my counterparts do not have, a privilege that I did not earn, nor do I deserve. And that seems to go way over people's heads all the time. I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, a bad look.
Blake, I just want to say that people from your community are hilarious. I'm very much enjoying them in the chat.
You know, that's another thing that's bothering about my community. They're getting real soft all of a sudden, and they need to fucking stop with that shit. Like we read each other for filth all the time. The reason why we do that is because this world is not going to be nice to us. So we would like when two gay men over the age of 30 are talking shit to each other, you would be like, oh shit, shots fired. But in reality, we're going to go after the most vulnerable, most self-conscious, like insecurity you have, because if we can tear you down on that level and you can bounce back from it and laugh at it, there is nothing anybody in this world can say to you that's going to affect you. I tell people all the time, I called some girl that was trying to defend a racist and I'm like, if 2 + 2 is 4. But I was like, little girl, look. And she's like, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm like, difference between you and I.
Oh.
What is the difference? Okay, anyway. So first question from Mr. Chucky, who I think was our first donator. What do you guys think of the COVID relief package that was passed today? $600 per person and $300 for unemployment for 10 weeks. Tori, Blake, LJ?
Basically, I saw this tweet where it's the equivalent to, it's our let them eat cake of what it is. Like, we are one of the most developed countries in the world, and we cannot provide our own citizens with, like, just like maybe taking care of their rent for once. Which is why I get so annoyed when I see landlords on TikTok being like, I can't believe this person isn't paying my rent. It's like, I can't believe you're profiting off of a commodity. Well, not a commodity. I can't believe you're commodifying a basic human need. And then the government knows this is a problem and is giving the people crumbs. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is believable. We do live in America after all. But
yeah, it's wholly insufficient. Obviously, that's the headline. It is nowhere near enough. Like, I live in a place that has like bottom 3 cost of living in the country, and that $600 payment is like enough for me to pay rent 1 month. So like, cool, thanks for that, appreciate it. And like, I lost my job a little over a month ago, so like the additional in unemployment is great because like the amount that I would get per week is only like $200, and that's literally it. That's what I would have to live on. But like, go beyond, and that's just me going to the millions of other people that are experiencing this all around the country, and it's to the point that Tori made. But what's more is that this isn't even that we can't, quote unquote, can't provide. We are refusing to. This is an active decision being made by the government to refuse to provide for its citizens in what is the largest health crisis and one of the largest economic crises we have seen in a century. Like, we have the tools and the ability to absolutely do this if we want. These are the kinds of situations government exists for, whatever your political ideology. And there is just a fundamental refusal to do the job of government from one political party in our or one political bent in our country. And that's really what's really good about Republicans. What they're really good at is they're really good at sticking to message. And the Republican message will always be no. That is what the entire conservative ideology is built around, is the word no.
No, comma, it'll trickle down. Ginger Beard Man asked, how does every other country afford to give people a few thousand a month and we can't? It's because America chooses to put the corporations that exploit its workers first before the people every single time.
Yeah.
Because corruption runs so deep in our government.
Yeah. Don't think that these countries have somehow managed to not run deficits or record deficits during this, which is what Republicans will talk about. They are doing it too. They are absolutely running record deficits just as we are. Look at a percentage to their GDP. Like it's not that we are the only country that is doing this. We're the only country that is just refusing to do it and using some stupid excuse like we didn't create this situation we're in. We're gaslighting millions of people that are suffering and saying that we have to be beholden to those that make enough money to where, like, all we would have to do to offset this is ask Jeff Bezos to take one fewer vacation a year. Instead, we have to ask millions of Americans, okay, what bills can you afford to pay and what bills can't you? Do you want electricity or do you want heating this month?
How many of you want to live in a car?
Well, and the worst part about it is you get guys like Ron Johnson from Wisconsin who actually got on the Senate floor and claimed that we were mortgaging our future by giving people $1,200 checks once. When, like Blake said, when you look at it, like everybody wants to, the debt. Our debt as a percentage of GDP is right smack in the middle of other countries. We are not, that far out there when it comes to debt. And inflation right now is about 2%, and interest rates are 0. So that debt is only going to be less expensive in the future as of right now. So it really, the better case would be to acquire debt right now while interest rates are low, and inflation is where it's at. And not only that, money that we put into the, in people's pockets now is going to go tenfold. And it's what we have to do in the future. Like what we're going to have to do 3 years from now is going to be way more expensive than meeting people's basic needs right now.
Yeah.
We have 40 million people that as of January 1st could be thrown out on their ass because of a rent crisis. And this whole rent moratorium thing is a ticking time bomb, because the way it's set up is not that their rent is paid, it's that they don't have to pay it. So for all these months that they haven't been paying their rent, it's been building up and building up and building up. It's something like $70 billion right now. So really that $600 is just a slap in the face. Even the $1,200 one time, I mean, it's just not enough. We're doing we're giving pennies for dollar problems, and it's ridiculous at every level. And as bad as the Democrats have been on this, the Democrat leadership, Republicans are far worse. But I mean, it's all horseshit when you can get only 2 senators, Josh Hawley and Bernie Sanders, to fight for $1,200 a month checks. And the other 98 aren't really out there speaking or talking about it. It just shows you how dire of straits we are.
Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough for me to even acknowledge it, like for everything, all the reasons you guys are saying right now. So like, if people ask me about it, I'm like, honestly, it doesn't mean anything. Like I'm from Seattle, like $600 would cover half the rent, maybe,
Yeah, if you're like
right
from Vancouver, and it covers not even a third of my rent.
Yeah, so it's just like, that's for like a shitty studio, And so I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I couldn't even afford my studio and tuition at the same time.
Yeah,
and it's not like this is even something that they're choosing to do 1 month after the tap was turned off last time. We're half a year past the last time we got any kind of support. If you were drawing the assistance on unemployment insurance for several weeks, so this is to backlog months of what people have been without.
As Carlson is asking about 600 on the unemployment, it's not going to be 600, it's going to be 300, which Washington State did a second round of that. A few states did a second round of that, which was helpful. Like, I mean, in the end, like, it's going to help, but it's still a slap in the face.
It's
really a slap in the face, but it's still going to help. Like, it's just you're choosing, like,
I have struggled in the past. Like I come from a family of money, but my family is very like make it on your own. Don't ask for help. Now that source is gone in my family, like we're all very independent with it and we know how to struggle. So I know how to juggle bills to keep my credit okay. But like outside of that, eventually it just keeps piling up and you feel like the whole world's collapsing on you. And it's not a matter of where to put the money. It's trying to stay sane enough to figure out what the next move is. Like money's not going to fix that.
Which is why it's so frustrating when you hear, conservatives or Republicans say that we just want a handout or we're lazy or,
but these are just Republicans that are complaining about all the homeless on the street. Do you want to make the problem bigger? Do you want to make the problem bigger? Because you're about to make the problem bigger. And I mean, if you put enough people on the streets, like 40 million families or 40 million people on the streets, how long do you think it's going to be before 40 million come knocking at your door and knock you out and take over your house? Because I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them.
And it's not even like we don't have enough housing for public housing. I mean, like, it's interesting how this is such a radical concept when people are like, how do we solve the homelessness problem? You give people homes. That's what you do. You give people homes. We have more than enough room for it. But again, there is a surplus amount of real estate that is being created for like the top 10% to live in, and not, everyday working class people. So they're just like, oh, well, you have to work to have a home. And this is apparently a very radical concept where people deserve to be housed, even if they're not working, even if.
And what makes me really pissed off is I'm a flex right now. I'm a good enough stylist that I made 6 figures. I made 6 figures in the pandemic, right? I barely make 20% of that because nobody can afford to get their hair done. All these people bitching about needing a haircut and needing their roots done, which, by the way, they hadn't had their roots done in 6 months and we were in lockdown for 6 weeks. So they were flexing. Like, just stop. But, like, at the end of the day, like, these people can't afford to get their hair done. They're realizing quickly hair is a luxury service. And when I've spent 17 years building up a career enough that I can make, 6 figures, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, as they would say. Well, someone done snatched my boots off me. What am I supposed to pull myself up by now? You knocked me down, stole my boots, and ran and said, fix it.
Same here. Like, there's no possible way for me to afford grad school in this moment right now, unless I want to go more into debt. And it's like, I just can't do that. It's just.
Well, I mean, now would be the time to do it because
they're like, oh, educate yourself. But it's like, I'm trying to. Like, I'm sorry that, like, law school is so damn expensive. And they expect you not to work while you go there, too.
Well, here's the thing. This is what these people here, these people that don't have college educations, that make their money through, like blue-collar jobs, which there's nothing wrong with that. I made all my money and paid for my 4-year by getting grade first, but that was 17 years ago. That, like, when I went, my beauty school, when I started, cost $9,500. It cost that same school for that same program now costs $27,000. So, like, it's jumped up, and like the dollar amount you make hourly hasn't moved. And I'm a commission-based industry, but regardless of that, like I paid for school. I know how expensive school is. I know how much that costs. And at the end of the day, these people think that you go to law school and then you get your law degree and you make all this money as a lawyer. No. They don't realize most people have to start at the bottom and work there. Not everyone's a partner right away. Yeah. And like it takes a while to get there, and having a looming debt over you can A, keep you from getting a job because you have a debt. B, it makes it harder for you to get out of that debt while trying to climb into your job. And most of them don't realize to become a partner, you have to buy in. You need money to buy in. You don't have the kind of money to buy in if you're paying off a student loan that's over $100,000.
Yeah.
I think bottom line is just there. We know who's getting their pockets greased and who's in the ear of these people. The defense contractors wrote a single letter to the Senate and got everything they wanted in the second stimulus bill. People have been protesting and begging and marching for months and months and months and can't get $600. I mean, that's really all it comes down to.
First responders to 9/11 had to have Jon Stewart go in there and embarrass every single one of those senators and call them on their bullshit to get any kind of response, which still wasn't good enough, but they got something out of it. But it's absolutely ridiculous because the right is all about like, oh, I don't want to do socialism because I don't want to take care of people that aren't willing to do the work themselves. Meanwhile, they are electing people who are not willing to do the work themselves, getting them to do the work for them to, like, I mean, I've said this before a million times, like privatized healthcare is a scam. universal health care is going to help everybody. All doctors will be within network. Like there'll be mental health services. There'll be less people in jail, which would be less tax dollars to jail. Like it's
nothing drives me more insane when I hear, well, I don't want to pay for other people's health care. I'm like, that's what you're literally doing with private insurance.
It's called risk pooling. But instead of paying for a profit, and like what they don't understand either is if they get in a bad accident outside of their town and that hospital happens to be in their network, but the only doctor on shift to take care of them and save their lives happens to not have signed into their like coverage, then all the hospital fees are like covered, but that doctor is not. And the doctor is what's the most like expensive. So on top of all this money you're paying out of your paycheck every month, now you have to pay even more money to a doctor. If there was universal health care, every doctor would be in your network. You wouldn't be paying outrageous numbers. Like if I did the math on this, if you paid $25 per person in every household a month in this like country, we would have $99 billion surplus. And everybody would have
Speaking of misinformation online, how would you guys recommend we combat misinformation circulating online? LJ, why don't you go first, sir?
Oh my goodness.
Solve that problem.
At the end of the day, like people are going to believe what they want to believe, right? So there's really you can push people to good information all you want, but people's minds are already made up, to begin with. That's why it's so difficult to talk to some of the people we're talking to now. It's like they'll run, right into the point and miss it completely, So just everything is just based on your bias, your own personal bias. You're going to see the facts that you want to see. I don't really know how we fix it. It's just, it's a crazy time. It's very discouraging for me in a lot of ways, when you talk to certain people and you bring up good information, but they just blow right past it. So I don't have those answers. I really don't know how. So.
What I'd say worked for me the best, and that's kind of how I started my whole TikTok, YouTube thing, was talking about misinformation, is it doesn't work at like a me to the person on the other side of the screen, but it works as like it has to be on like the person. Like you can get a friend or like a loved one, and even then it's super fucking hard, but you just have to be like you have to have empathy, and you have to kind of you got to humor them. You got to kind of buy into the crazy for a second and then push back at every little every stop in between with this and that and this thing, and oh well this is like that, no well this is actually like this. You have to kind of push back at every avenue, because that's how it works, because there's just so much of it, and they kind of build an entire whole different narrative world, and you have to eat one at a time, and it takes a lot, but you can do it on a person-to-person basis.
I have a theory about your way of doing it. I have a theory about your way of doing it. It's a lot of the ways you deal with people that are stuck in cults. I mean, it is a cult, but I mean, like what they would agree is a cult. What they would agree is a cult. So what I've learned to do with a lot of people that I've been successful with people with this, and I tried it on my channel, but my fucking followers love you guys, but you guys gave me away. Because what you do is you hear them out. Well, tell me your side of things. Let me hear your side of things. And while they're telling you their side of things, where there's a hole in their logic, act like you don't understand and have them explain it to you. You're like, oh, okay, could you go more into that because I'm not understanding it. Not like that doesn't make sense. You just say, I'm not understanding it. Could you go a little deeper into that? And the more you do this and the more you start poking holes in their logic, but in a way that forces them to explain it to you and critically think, if they can't come up with that answer, be like, well, I mean, if you can get those answers for me, I would really appreciate it. They're going to go back to the hive and start asking those same questions and start getting other people to try to poke holes in that logic. And soon it like colony collapse. That's what I'm hoping for happens. So if I get one person questioning everything where they're like, I don't have the answer for that, I'm trying to convince this guy to be on our side. I'm going to ask my fellows that also think the same way I do. And then they all can't come up with an answer. And eventually they're going to be like, why is there no answer for this? There's got to be an answer somewhere. And they're going to look for the one person, and they're going to start to be like, you had to reach for that. Because nobody else that agrees with us could come to that conclusion. Why are you like that? That's the way you deal with people that are in cults. You're like, okay, oh, well, that's interesting to me. I want to hear more about this. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't understand that one part. Like, I'm just not getting it. I don't understand it. Can you explain it to me? Like, go a little bit more into detail. Like, when you start forcing them to critically think about because that's what's lacking there is critical thinking skills. And once they start to critically think more and more and more, then they're going to start to ask themselves those questions. And then they're going to go back to the hive where people trust them. And they're going to start asking those questions of the people that trust them and know that they think the same way they do. And that gets more people starting to question the whole situation. You have to start with one and send them off and let them do the rest. The more you can do that, like, the better chance you have. But like, it's so widespread at this point. Like, and I mean, what LJ was saying is like, he's like, I don't even have the energy for it anymore. I'm running a, look at how many people right now on TikTok are like, I have to take a break. Tommy had to take a break. The Sassy NP had to take a break. Christina NP had to take a break. And they're just like, two of them are just battling COVID problems. Like they are attacking every single issue with conspiracy one way or another. And the problem with conspiracy is there's no proof to it. It's always promising this end result that they never come to.
That's why it's impossible to argue. So, I mean, going back to kind of what Driven was saying, my best approach so far has been to just create good relationships with people, you know? Because when people like you,
care about, because it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, if people like you and they trust that, you know, you're a decent person in their eyes, you know, they're more open to hearing whatever you have to say, you know? But at the same time, like after that conversation's done, they're just going to go back to that hive you were talking about and get in that echo chamber, and then none of it really mattered. So, I mean, it sounds kind of messed up, you know? I'm not trying to sound like, you know,
this is why prevention is really important, and this is why I say be careful about who you platform and what content you consume, because like it is important to go ahead and de-radicalize people, but at the same time it's important, and like again, like here's the commie coming out where people are going to be like, oh, she's trying to suppress free speech. It's like, to an extent you do have to suppress these ideas because they are very dangerous, and continuing to let people enter that rabbit hole by giving this gateway and platforming them is just not very good. There are really responsible, great content creators on here that are engaging with this content in a responsible manner by debunking it. But you as a viewer don't need to be going to that QAnoners content, commenting and interacting with it, because it ultimately boosts that content. Exactly. And like this goes back to when I was talking about fascism. There are ideas that are not worth platforming. If you see someone spouting some BS and you know that they're too far gone, ban them from your Discord server. Do something, report them. Like censorship isn't, you know, no one likes to say we should censor things, but like we live in a society where we do have to censor harmful, dangerous material. And this conspiracy theory stuff is harmful and dangerous. And I understand it plays into this narrative that they believe that they're in, but stop letting that stuff spread. Stop promoting content creators to just like dunk and own people in debates, rather than doing what a lot of these content creators here are doing, where they take these ideas and react to them in a much more responsible manner, rather than just kind of engaging in this sort of intellectual posturing that's ultimately unproductive.
Amen.
I think it's really important to note that those of us that are attacking people.
We have raised $669.69.
Somebody purposely donated a certain amount to make it that way.
I promise you, it was definitely one of mine. I promise. That's who we are.
Everybody. I think it's important to note to people that when you are watching somebody like go in, like if you watch somebody go in from the right, they're just trying to be like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm right. They're going for that. They're going for the win because they've been handed so many losses. But at the end of the day, if you watch people on the left, what we're doing is you can hear a desperation in us to be like, we're doing this for your benefit too. You are fighting against so many social like programs that would benefit you directly. You don't like anything that doesn't affect you personally. We are trying to explain how this will affect you in a positive way, personally. Like, personally. And like, you do this. No, we're trying to help you. We're just frustrated with you because you think we're out to get you. Yes, if you're racist, I'm going to drag your happy ass up and down the block. I have no problem with that. I just did it. I'm kind of going viral right now. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll drag a racist. I'll drag a bully. I will go after a bully. Like, I've always been that person, always will be that person. But if you watch any of my content where I'm trying to like correct information, I have this whole like expression to me where it's like I have facts for you. And then it comes into the, well, it's not Newsmax, it's not, you know, OANN. And I'm like, okay, but it's everybody else. When you have to say everybody else is wrong, you're the problem. When everybody else is against you, you are the problem.
Amen to that. All right, real quick, since we're going to wrap it up in a little while here, I'm going to give away the last gift card, which is a $50 one.
Ooh.
50 smackers. Okay, so go to my last YouTube video, which is this one. If you've been here a while, you should probably know it by now, but it's the Chris Krebs shuts down voter fraud allegations. This video. Go to this video, which is the very last video I uploaded on YouTube, and type last in the comments. Right there. You see it? Last.
How about from first?
Well, if you ain't first, you're last, right? Well, we did first, but now we're doing last. But type last in the comments. All right. I'll give you like 5 minutes to go do that. So go over to my last video, type last. I'll pick a random comment, just like I did for Hillary Faye there. And somebody will win a $50 Amazon gift card that I will send to you. I'm actually going to come to your house and like, hey, here you go, buddy. Here you go, buddy.
Socially distanced.
Yeah. No,
You could do like that person that like sends that has like the GoPro on their little car thing, and they always go to like the grocery store. They go to like that gas station and they get the stuff. You could do that.
I think he calls it RC delivery or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I miss RC cars. I was thinking about everything that we used to play with as kids before the internet that weren't ourselves, you know, like, and we are dude, kids are missing out. Like, you haven't lived life until you've almost broken your ankle on a skip it.
Hillary Faye asked, what would you recommend to a reporter what they should do to help others believe the truth and information on what they've reported?
Don't be too overproduced.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I worked in
Make sure you have sources. Go ahead, Blake. This is perfect for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I worked in media for 7 years and have been a reporter, albeit on like very small scale stuff, you know, like county quorum court and city council meetings and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the problem is reporters are good at what they do. And what reporters are really good at is pulling you in with sensationalism. Mm-hmm. And we as consumers, we play into it. So what you need people that care more about producing factual information than they do sensational information, producing stuff that's beneficial to the body politic as opposed to beneficial to their own wallet. And so that's a rare occurrence in media today, all across the board, whatever the bias of or perceived bias of any individual that's reporting is. People on the left do it, people on the right do it. But until we get out of the mindset of it being a profit-driven organization, and we look at it more from the standpoint of it is an issue of national security to ensure that we are a well-informed society that is making the right kind of decisions, we're going to have this problem. So my advice to reporters would be to think about what is going to be good for the discussion, good for the conversation in general, by and large for the entire country, not just what's going to be good for your bottom line, good for your ratings, good for your station or whatever.
Right. And I think that's like the only thing that came out of the Project Veritas CNN leaks, because obviously it's all, you know, just garbage as far as him, you know, unlocking some kind of scandal. But it gives you an insight into how Jeff Zucker, who runs CNN, how he tells them to focus on certain stories that are going to grab headlines, that are going to get viewers, as opposed to inform the public, actually. You know, CNN's a 24-hour news network, yet the same 3 stories come on basically all day, every day. And it's all about just driving ratings. And like, that's why I try to get a lot of my information from stuff like ProPublica. And I think what more journalists need to do is they need to go branch out and be independent, as opposed to work for a big company like CNN, because they're going to try to make it more palatable for everyone, as opposed to actually inform people.
Yeah, I'll actually give one other sort of like behind the scenes thing from like what happens in radio, the way that we build it, because it's advertiser sponsored. Same thing for TV and everything else. So like when we build, we call it the clock. When we build the clock that talks about, what we're going to put in each hour, the first thing that goes in are commercials. The music does not go in first. We put in the commercials. We have X number of minutes of commercials that are going to play per hour. And then what's put in after that is the music. So it's driven on the inverse of what it should be. The entertainment, the reason why you are there is second to us. We have to prioritize what's going to make us money. It's the same way with news because it's advertiser driven. You have to make sure that what is presented on the front end is what's going to make you your money.
It seems like the problem is capitalism.
Correct. It does, doesn't it?
I always tell people, like, do you know how many times I've been in a TikTok argument where I'm like, did you read past the headline? Because I just read your source and I've been able to prove you wrong with your source. And then I go into the explanation of even in print media, they need to get that click because that click is what gives them like money from the advertisers. The advertisers are what pay for them to be able to present you with free information. So like it's that vicious little cycle there. Like I honestly would love to like really like coin in on this like 90s nostalgia and all this nostalgia that the millennial and Gen Z are living in and be like, hey, you know what's really cool? Buying subscriptions to papers.
Mm-hmm.
Like just purchase the paper. Purchase your news source. See how much different information is there than somewhere else because you have like that and start reading print media. Like I'm sorry, but like visual and like television style media, video media, and no offense, Blake, but audio media, you have a voice of somebody else telling you the information the way they are saying it. When you read something, you are more likely to dissect what you're reading and hear it and interpret it your own way versus the way someone else is telling you to. And I mean,
you're absolutely right.
I do fully appreciate the people that tell you the information the way it is, and that's why I think I like TikTok so much, is because like there's a lot of people that are like, this is how it is, but there's also a lot of people that are like, hey, this is how it is. Yeah, and I hate to say it, this is a little elitist, but going to college, you learn to identify what sources are authoritative and which ones are not. And you can tell by the language. And there's too many times that Phoenix just did this, like where someone threw a source at him and he like points to the top right corner of the source. It says opinion. He's like, this source, this is your facts. The opinion article is your facts.
Well, I think that's just the problem with the older generation too. They've done studies on it that younger people, like millennials and younger, are better at sussing out what is factual news and what is not. Even though there's a lot of right wingers that are younger now, which is kind of scary. But I think the older generation has a hard time. I mean, you see it on like Facebook and stuff. Just if it looks like any other blog post. Mm-hmm. They, kind of go for it. And I get sent that kind of stuff all the time still from like aunts and uncles on Facebook. Like, oh yeah, the right-winger Supreme News Network said this. It's like, where did you even find this at?
My last Facebook post, because I never go on Facebook. I have one, but I took it off my phone. I took it off my iPad. Like I have to physically sign into it, which I don't even have it like bookmarked. I don't even think it's in my history. The last thing I said on Facebook was, if this is the only information you have about me, you are a part of the problem. That's all I said, was just, if this is the only thing you know of me, because it's all private, it's only people I know. If this is the only information, because I used to pop in every 6 months and said, still alive, and then pop back out. So like, I have to tell people, this is the only place where you find out any information about me, the place where I never post, and this is the only place you come to, you're a part of the problem. Like, branch out. Like, Facebook is poison. It destroyed an entire generation of people. And everyone
Facebook is just the thing I use to remind me when people's birthdays are. That's it.
Yeah.
It's connected. Like, somehow it got connected to my Google, and I get notifications for people that I haven't thought about in 10 years. And I'm like, for that. But at the end of the day, like I'll get their birthday. It's connected to my calendar because I used to have a Samsung. I know. I spoke broke at one time. But, like, still, like, the Facebook is just poison. It is poison. And it's like, and I'm sick and tired of the older generations blaming millennials and Gen Z for everything. These kids that are in Gen Z, by the way, that are right wing, they are the same kids that will see something happening bad, and instead of going to help, they're the ones pulling out their phones to record it.
Yeah.
I was over on the bench.
John Mulaney references. I'm home.
I was hoping somebody would catch that. All right, let's see who the winner chicken dinner is.
Just answer me this, Triven. How are you better than a Nazi?
For a long time.
Right. But I was over on the bench. All right. And the winner is Charles.
Charles Villegas.
Latinos against
Trump. Oh, I was so scared for a second.
All right.
And I saw those big letters, man. Those big Trump letters freaked us out.
Yeah. Whoa,
Scared me for a second.
We're gonna randomize that one again.
Right.
It's rigged,
bro.
Offer not valid to
It's
any.
rigged.
All right. Offer not valid to any Trump supporters.
Uh-huh.
I stopped my clap to make sure I was reading.
Charles, put your either your TikTok or not your TikTok, but your Instagram or your Twitter in the comments. That's what they're called. And you can message me too if you want. But yeah, either one of those, and then I'll message it to you. Winner of a winner chicken dinner there. All right.
Woo.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's you, Chucky? Oh, all right.
No, I said boomer. I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh. Definitely a
I don't
boomer.
think Chucky's a boomer, though. I don't think he's old enough for that. I was calling you a boomer, Triven.
Oh. Well, might as well be.
I mean,
It's getting close. It's getting close.
Sometimes we all feel like it, though.
On TikTok, if you were born before what? If you were born before 97, you're a boomer on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right.
These kids, man,
Anybody over the age of 17 is a boomer.
You know, the worst thing I've seen is my friend just turned 25. She's a boomer now. No, you don't. It's like, sweetheart, you don't turn into one. You stay the same one through life.
Right.
But like, I'm a Zennial. I will make this argument till the day I die.
Yeah.
My older siblings are Gen X. I'm the only sibling that's a millennial. I have Gen X memories. I watched the Snorks. I watched the Smurfs. Like, that was my Heathcliff. That was my shit when I was younger. And like millennials, I know, like my husband, who's 4 years younger than me, cougar. Like, he doesn't know these siblings. You know what I mean? So I feel like I have the memories of someone that's 40, 41. So that's my oldest sibling. Well, no, my oldest sibling is 43. But like, those are the memories I grew up with, because they were like, this is what's cool. You don't get to watch that other shit. Like Barney, fuck that purple dinosaur. I never cared about that. Like, all my friends are like, ooh, Barney. I'm like, that's for kids.
Pretty sure he was racist anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Barney canceled.
Barney's super canceled.
Oh man. Like,
hey, somebody came back.
Oh, it's Tommy.
It's
Tommy.
Tommy.
5 and 97. Oh,
Tommy's that kid that when everybody does the group project, he shows up in the end. He's like, hey, here I am with my 150,000 followers.
What I contribute, though, top notch.
You were gone the whole time. What do you mean?
All right, Chucky. I see. I got your ID. I'll be sending it your way. Congratulations, sir. Winner.
Dad.
Dun, 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 dun.
Blake, Blake, where are all these people at? Where does this happen? I need to know
My
where
Discord.
because I need to go watch.
I have over 500 people in my Discord server. That's where most of it happens.
Okay, well, I need you to send me an invite. I think you just followed me on Twitter. I need you to send me an invite to this Discord server, because I am going to watch nerds. You guys are nerds. So I'm going to, I have this weird obsession with nerds. All my followers are nerds for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I'm the cool kid in high school that like pays attention to them. You know what I mean? So like, it's very that. And I do call them nerds. Like, I was in JDCon's live the other day. They started talking about like Star Trek or Star Wars or some shit. No, The Mandalorian. I was like, all right, guys, that's my cue. I'm out. Gotta go. Sorry. Like,
I heard that's a good show, actually.
That's good TV.
Yeah, we had
like,
here's how nerdy my Discord server is. Number one, we have a book club. Number two, when I got to, what was it? I can't remember if it was the 300 subscriber special that I had for my Twitch channel where we streamed Hamilton together.
Oh,
So,
there you
like,
go.
You know,
The whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Damn it, man.
I don't even think we paused for the intermissions. It wasn't even like a pee break and stand up and stretch. We just went straight through the whole thing.
Nice.
See, like, while you guys were all like watching Star Wars. By the way, when I met my husband, I was 25, and like our first year together, he brought up Star Wars, and I was like, I have a confession, but don't get mad at me. He's like, what? And I was like, I've never seen any Star Wars all the way through. And he's like, what? All mad at me, so we had to watch I have seen him because I got forced into a film festival. And here's the thing: when Star Wars was cool, I was actually alive when they were released, unlike most of you guys. And when everyone's like, you got to see this, even at like 3, I was like, why is so much hype? No, see, I don't trust that. There's too much hype around this shit. I don't want to see it. I'm too cool for that. Like at 3, I was too cool.
Born a hipster.
I was an original hipster. I was born that way. Like, screw you guys. But I've seen it since, and like, it's whatever. But I was more into like Drop Dead Fred and like Tim Burton films, and like, even though he's problematic now. But like, I mean, they all are. But I was into like the cult classics. Like everyone's stuck on Mean Girls. I was watching Heathers. Like,
I love Heathers.
I tell people all the time, a world full of Mean Girls, be a Heather, and a world full of Heathers, be a Veronica.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, I like Star Wars. I like fantasy stuff, Lord of the Rings, The Witcher. I watch it all.
The Witcher, dude,
I love The Witcher, but I'm just there for Henry Cavill on the film.
I just don't, like, you know, pull the patch to them every night. Like,
I'm one of those people that if I like a film or if I like a show, then I'll go on YouTube and look up how they made it, and I'll look up the producer, directors, and then watch people like review the movie. I go all out.
I am so happy I'm in this live because now I can say LJ's a fucking nerd. Oh man, I'm LJ now.
I'm a closeted nerd, man.
Yeah, no, I just finished watching that Witcher show on Netflix. That was really good. Henry Cavill really good in that.
But I did play video games. I will say this. I'm not a gamer, but nobody can beat me. I don't care what platform it's on. I just need to know what low kick is, what high kick is, what low punch and high punch is, and all the combos are the same. I've been playing that shit since it was on Genesis. Like, no, y'all can't beat me. Like, my best friend Chris is my worst like person I have to play, and it always times out, and it's a matter of who took enough from who before the timeout. That's the only way a win happens between us.
Well, long story short, I will send whoever wants one a link to join this Discord server. Driven's actually, and as a matter of fact, I need to I even have a role set up for people that are
Blake's Discord's lit. I go in there and
on
check
TikTok.
it.
It's pretty wild. Again, there's over 500 people, so you might want to turn the notifications off because there's stuff happening
definitely.
I just want to
all the time.
That's it. Like, I just want to watch a train wreck happen. See, my nerds are right now trying to bring up Dungeons and Dragons. Stop it. That's what I can't get behind. Stop that.
Now I missed that wave. I played like Magic and like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like stuff like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yu-Gi-Oh and
That's the stuff.
You know what I was doing? Drugs. That's what I was doing. So
I did those too.
We know.
I'm sober now, but I was. So I was living my best life, and the worst.
I had a tiger mom, so I was taking accelerated math courses and playing violin.
With your mom?
No.
My conduct grade was straight U. I had straight A's, straight U's. Like, even my favorite teacher gave me unsatisfactory for my conduct. They knew me.
I'm in there. I just never post Abigail Adams. But I'd be in there checking out. That's how I got a hold of Blake the first time for him to come on. I just rolled in there like, yo, can somebody tell Blake I want to speak to him over a live stream?
Blake owes somebody a bedtime story.
Oh,
what?
Shit, I do, don't I? Damn. That was the thing that was another thing was I think that was the 300, no, maybe that was 250. I don't remember. Anyway, because like I lost my job and I had like 230 subs and we had like all these goals that, 250 I'll do this, 300 I'll do this, and then in one day I got like 100 new Twitch subs. And so like it was
Hamilton in your Discord. He seems like the troublemaker.
I
think like Hamilton's the troublemaker.
So I have like I don't know who they are because I don't know what they changed their names from, but Hamilton, like probably.
Well, my Mac and JD Con's Mac and Tommy's Mac. Tommy, you're cool with Mac, right? Yeah, Mac. That Mac that's in here, Mac 1340, Mac probably has more moderatorships across TikTok than anybody else. That kid has
mine too.
Every single
How old is Mac?
Have you added Mac yet? Now that you
He's a mod on mine. So is Dating Nerd Talk.
If y'all don't have Mac moderating for you, you haven't made it yet. Sorry.
I gotta go through and get rid of some mods, man. Some of these people are just never in my chat. I'll have like 500 people and like one fucking person modding. Like, where? What?
Oh my gosh.
These out?
I'm OG mod. He can't take my shit away because we'll have problems.
I only have mods on YouTube and Twitch, and one is Javakai and the other one's Tori. So I'm very selective with mine.
Oh, I'm gonna bully Javakai for not coming on after this.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, I can't make it. I don't have a computer.
He had a good reason, but I'm still gonna bully him. I'll take every chance I can.
Collectively bully Chris Wells.
Yes.
For not being here.
He came up with all the ideas during the.
and then he's not even here.
No, he's not even here. Like all the ideas, like he was on it.
By the way, he's also in the Discord server. He never posts.
Do a joint roast for him,
but he's there.
All I had to do was bring up how rad Mac is, and they all stopped being nerds and started talking about how cool Mac was. See? Cool kid mentality. Not a distraction nerds. It's real easy. Tommy has a bunch of random ass people designated as mods, and they never show up.
Never.
Is pissed.
I met maybe 2 of them.
Maybe 2
Wasted someone.
Today, Junior.
You gotta watch you make mod because they'll ban somebody. Be like, hey, dude, I'm trying to gain people here, not lose people.
Well,
I didn't like his opinion.
Evan goes across everybody's lives, and he's just a little smart ass bullshit, tries to see what he can get away with. He always ends up getting muted by something. And so when I'm modding somewhere, I'm like, if you guys see Evan, just let him run his mouth. Like he's a supporter. He's just being a little shit.
I don't really have issues with trolls. I just don't respond to them. Like I don't even read their comments.
We try, and then I'll get one, and I'll shut them down, and I guess they run back to the hive, and they're like, "Go."
I just pretend I'm not seeing them, and then they just stop commenting.
I usually have fun with trolls.
If I put Tim Pool in a title on a live stream, I always get trolls. I don't know what it is. If I put Tim Pool in the description, I always get trolls. If I don't, I usually don't get.
I get trolls no matter what.
That's why I'm like, what is wrong with you?
My TikTok lives will be like me drinking green tea, and I'll still get trolls. I'm like, how did you find me?
I like our lounges. So like mine will usually say lounge at the top of it. And like mine's like a little community. Like everybody in my live like chat, they all know each other. So talking to somebody, we'll all be going off. People will be sending gifts. I won't notice it. Mac will be thanking them for me because that's what Mac does. And then like 2 people will be nerding out on like Doctor Who or some shit, and somebody will bring up something that is like off limits in my chat room, like The Mandalorian or some nerdy shit like that. I'll just let them talk about it. I don't have time for this shit. Like I'm not, and I could literally put my live up and walk away, and all of a sudden, sorry for you kids that don't understand this, it becomes an AOL chat room. Like if I open a live and walk away, it's an AOL chat room.
We're not that young, John. I mean, maybe Tori.
I just turned 23.
Then you don't know about that AOL.
No.
You don't know about getting. You don't know about getting nudge spammed on.
My power was unchecked. Oh man, I would do that like where it like wiggly and like it changes colors and shit, like perfect color fade. It's like special characters. I had a little guy that went like this. Like I fucking did it. I was unstoppable as soon as that came out. And then
I never made it to AIM chat rooms, but my first internet experience was really with MySpace. You know, all that jazz. That was kind of when I first started interneting.
Right to the game.
I was the Tumblr blog generation. I like how I know how to code a little bit because of Tumblr.
We want to talk about code. MySpace.
Yeah.
I like the layout. I made up my own layout.
Yep. I used to do the raining text on MySpace.
My favorite was when you wanted to be petty as shit. You would fully code out a page for someone and drop that shit in their comments. Then you would like make the comment look like you were being supportive of them somehow, but all the code was hidden inside the comment. So they didn't know, and it allowed 250 comments on the page. So they would have to wait until 250 comments went by before their page would go back to normal.
I remember all I had on my first MySpace page was that really big fat kid that has a shirt on that says "I fuck on the first date" and like a Florida Gators banner like that. I was like 12 and thought I was cool, you know. But that was basically it.
Tim, how old are you?
Me, 31.
Oh, God damn it! I don't believe God, man, I graduated high school before you even got in high school. Son of a bitch.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So, John,
I graduated high school early because I was smart.
Oh.
Ooh.
Shit.
I wanted to be Doogie.
I mean, I graduated high school, but barely.
This is so weird. I'm usually the old mom in my Discord and in my community, so I'm very. This is refreshing for me. They think that I'm a grandma because I'm 23.
You're an old Gen Z. That's why.
I'm an old Gen Z. I'm a millennial.
3 years.
So, like,
millennial.
I'm president of the Young Dems for Arkansas, and our average age is 18 for members, and so I'm 27. I'm the oldest president the organization has had in nearly a decade.
I'm the guy that's
so I'm like,
the dream. You know what I mean?
I'm around all
guy
these
in Letterman
teenagers.
jacket
And
that's
it's
still in
just,
college, showing up to the high school party with a sixer.
oh,
That's
it's just God. It's so weird because they're just like, oh God, we like show up at events and they're just like, ugh, I got to study for my English final. I'm like, ugh, I have to pay my taxes. Like, you know.
Sucks to suck. I'm gonna go get hammered.
Right?
I gotta balance my checkbook.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? Speaking of Democrat leadership, you know Joe Biden is the youngest person in Democrat leadership.
Oh Jesus Christ! I didn't know Chuck Schumer was older than him. I knew Nancy was, but I didn't know Schumer
Nancy's
was.
81. Chuck Schumer's like 79. Steny Hoyer's 80.
Chuck Schumer looks great for his age. I want to know what regimen he's on.
Jeez.
The souls of progressives.
Oh no, they're drinking baby's blood. That's right.
Yeah. Adrenochrome, brah.
I have a question.
One of my buddies
So trying
don't talk much right now, but he tried to bring up a Q conspiracy to me. I'm like, don't you dare finish that fucking sentence. I swear to God. And he was like, what? And I'm like, you are an idiot. Like, I know what grades you got in school. You are not going to win this conversation.
Damn it, man.
I have a question.
Like, I think that's the easiest thing about like when people support the right that you personally have made your whole life. You're like, I know what your education is. So, and you know what mine is. Like, you used to cheat off of me in class, and you're telling me I'm wrong. I'm the only reason why you ever got an A.
You're telling me I'm wrong.
Didn't Nancy Pelosi state that she wouldn't run for Speaker of House again?
Yeah.
And she's doing it
after this.
Yeah.
Is it after this or is it? I
think it's after this, isn't it?
Well,
she's running.
Well, she's running. I don't think she's going to get it.
Well,
honestly,
she already did. She was unanimously elected leader of the Democrats, like because they elect the leader before this session goes out for the next one.
Oh, okay.
So actually being elected speaker will just be a formality.
How many seats did she lose before they give up on her?
I don't know. Yeah, that's my entire thing. Like, I mean, if the Democrats gain seats in the House, like, okay, then maybe I could see her hanging on for one more term. But like, this was objectively a terrible election for Democrats.
Terrible.
Like, we lost so many seats. We
are
barely
so bad
hung on to the House.
rigging elections. You guys, the next meeting we have about rigging elections, we got to do better.
Yeah, like we got to.
I mean, Uncle George Soros did not invite us to his basement to hand us those paychecks for nothing. We need to earn them.
Y'all got your paychecks already? I still wait on mine.
Hey, John, man.
Here's basement.
You can't be joking about that because somebody's like screen recording our conversation.
Yeah, somebody's clipping this right now.
Yeah.
We're going to find out about it on Twitter later.
Like, I knew it.
Flip this.
It's going to be on QAnon by the end of the chat.
Flip it, chat.
Come get me. I exist. What do you
Oh,
got?
it's okay. I'm already known secretary of Antifa. So
I Antifa'd a couple times today. Yeah, I Antifa'd when I woke up, and then I Antifa'd when I was cleaning my house. Yeah. I like put up the things out my window.
I mean, you can technically engage in anti-fascist action. My English was about to leave the chat, and I was to start speaking Tagalog again. It's gonna happen eventually. I'm trying so hard to keep on speaking English.
My favorite thing in the world right now is when people adamantly believe that Antifa is centralized. Like, that's my favorite fuck. I'm like, who's the leader? Where's the leader? Where is the leader?
It's Tyler Bluntman. He's the leader of Antifa. You guys didn't know?
Can we just take a vote? Let me be the leader.
Is it double agent?
It's
double agent, yeah.
I thought it was
Craig
Joe
just
Biden being
named Antifa.
simultaneously Sleepy Joe doing nothing in his basement while also being the mastermind behind Antifa BLM.
It's a good cover, if you ask me. It's a good cover.
It's actually Clinton and the
Oh,
Obamas.
I just don't get it. Like, so QAnon is an imaginary person for the most part. That's another thing. You give them a source, and the source says anonymous people said da 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 da, which I usually avoid those sources. Like, I don't touch stories that have anonymous anything because I'm not going to feed into that train anymore, which sucks because there's a whole protection situation behind it. But like, they're like, oh, that's anonymous sources. I'm like, you're quoting QAnon. Don't be a non-politician.
You know what's crazy though is like most of the times like they're not even quoting Q anymore. Like QAnon, like actually Q has posted 3 times since election day. Like it's such a big thing now. Like the whole QAnon like space is so big and organic now that they don't even need Q. Like Q is irrelevant to the cause at this point. Like it's just other people in their place.
What are the things that you guys have heard from the right, or just the right? Fuck it. It's everybody else. It's center to the right. Like all of you are fucking stupid. Like I'm not even gonna be nice anymore. If you're not on the left, you're wrong. If you're right, you're wrong. Just period. But like, look at all the things that I was like, wow, why is LJ all in my face right now? Like,
I was trying to see what. There we go.
I have no makeup.
I was going through the new schmices.
There's no filter options on here. But like, look, all the things the right has either taken, stolen, gotten wrong. Like, example, QAnon. They don't trust anonymous sources, but they support QAnon. Patriot Party. That was a far left like party, part of the Rainbow Coalition, started by somebody in the Black Panthers that stood for socialism and anti-racism. And that's what they want the new Trump party to be, is the Patriot Party. I'm like, okay, Space Force, Guardians, Ubu, we got it. Like, we're the tolerant left, we're not. Like, they are wrong, like, literally about every single thing they say. I've been wrong on my channel once, and I didn't delete the video. I posted a retraction video right afterwards. And I said it was my fault for not researching a little bit more. Like, can they say that? No. Sorry, I'm more trustworthy. Fuck it.
I mean, yeah, that goes back to like, how do you talk to people, right? How do you convince people, right? Because their information is based upon what makes them feel good and what's entertaining for them, and I guess kind of holds together their worldview of things. So it's difficult to, even tell them that they're wrong because they don't really care. Right?
Well, the thing is, what you're talking about there, John, is that they've built this whole other separate world. Like if you watch, like if you go on right-wing Twitter and you watch Newsmax and you go on Clapper and this is like your normal day and you're not doing it like we would, just like check out a video or look at something. If that's what you do, it's not wrong to them. And that's why it can be hard, like we were talking about, to pull somebody out of it, because you can immediately go back into this echo chamber and you can watch news all day. You can go on social media. You can go on TikTok. You can do all this stuff and you get fed all of this stuff all day, every day from several different sources, and they all say it's right. So then when it comes up against somebody else who is on the left or gets news from a different source, they look at you like you're crazy. Like, no. Trump clearly won and there's clearly fraud because of X, Y, and Z. But it's a totally different world. And that's how they're able to do it. Like, they don't think they're wrong. Like, they think you're the crazy one. Like, that's what they've gotten to at this point.
I am this close to going to the gas station first, buying some sunglasses. My father-in-law, who's a Republican, gave me a military camo-style hat with a bent bill and an American flag on it. So I don't know what he was thinking on that.
Very fashionable.
I'm going to wear that, and I'm going to take some bobby pins. She gets it. And I'm going to clip my hair up. So it's just a mullet, right? So it looks like a mullet. You won't see the bobby pins. And I'm going to create a whole nother character, and I'm going to go into conservative social media, and I'm going to get in there and like ride or die with them. And then out of nowhere, just start questioning things. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I'm going to become your superior leader and just slowly fucking crack away.
That's actually a good plan.
I mean, I got the I would do is take this like smart, like, I talk really fast, sound really smart. See, like you take that and you turn it downward. All of a sudden, it's a walrus bulldog, and they're going to be like,
one of us.
I was talking to me and Tommy were talking about that like a few weeks ago before we went live. Like, if you are on the right, you can just say like 25 buzzwords and like just say the same stuff over and over again. Overnight, you'll have 100,000 followers.
Well, this is the thing about their civil war. Okay, first of all, how do they think it's going to go down? Second of all, I can end the civil war right now. I can have, and this, if they catch wind of this, this will fuck it up for them. Just the theory alone. Have one person put on a Trump 2020 shirt with a MAGA hat, pretend to be on their side, and then knife them all from like the inside out. They're not going to know who to trust, and it's not like they can question you on what his policies are because they don't know his policies. All you gotta do is say
the right wing apparatus.
Like there's no way for them to verify if someone's really on their side or not. That should tell you something. If you cannot verify who is on your side with like some simple questions like, what is his policies? Nobody knows. He doesn't have it. He has bullet points. And like, if you think that's going to be hard to remember, we have a plethora of information we have to remember to combat your bullshit. So if you think we can't remember some bullet points, I memorized the entire Green New Deal, and they haven't even read it. Like, I mean, please start the Civil War. I'm going to make them fight each other.
No Civil War, boo is. Tori, when I looked up for a second, my little emblem is like right in your corner. I thought you had like my logo on your wall for a second. I was like, damn, that's based. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. Where'd you get that? Make it merciful.
Every TikTok since he learned it.
I'm an undercover Republican. Oh no, okay, never mind.
See, like you would never know. Gingerbeer just proved the point. You even were confused for a second, and he's been in the chat the whole time.
I was just reading his comment.
Somebody with like no right mind, you know what I mean? Based in another reality, they're not going to catch that shit. Gingerbeer, your first mission, if you choose to accept it.
Conscious Lee did that. Conscious Lee made a Conscious the Conservative page, and it got like 50K followers. That was back in like May or something. In like a month, he got like 50K followers.
They're like, ooh, look, an exception we can present as a standard. He's like,
and all he did is he put on a MAGA hat, and it had a question mark. It said MAGA, but it said question mark.
MAGA?
And he would just be like, huh, Donald Trump's my president. He's the best ever. And he had like 50.
My favorite MAGA shirt I've ever seen is Mexicans always get across. I was like, I want to hug him so bad. Whoever, that guy that was wearing that, I just wanted to run up. This was around here. I wanted to run up and just give him a big hug. I was like, I love you.
There's this I can't remember his name now, but there's a Southern dude on TikTok, and he just trolls conservatives, but he wears a Trump hat. He wears, all camo and stuff, and he has a Southern accent, and so people just believe him. And he's got like 100,000 followers, but he's completely just fucking with people, But the sad part about it is when I first went to his page, I completely believed him because that's just what they all sound like. Like like ridiculous is not ridiculous anymore for them. It's just who they are now. So it was kind of confusing. And I went through the comments and people were like, oh no, he has like a whole social media presence. This is what he does. He's just like fucking with people.
I think I've seen like really super redneck guy, like really leans into it. He's got a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That is somebody that if you're making your money through the creator fund, that's the kind of shit I can support. That's grifting.
Yeah, he's playing chess, man. He's all playing checkers.
I think Walter Masterson is probably one of the best though. Like he will go out and ask them questions, and like everybody knows who Walter is. You guys know who Walter is, right?
Yeah.
He's like the one that stands outside of Trump Tower screaming crazy.
Yeah.
He goes to Trump rallies, but he wears it. Like, if that's not their first dead giveaway, all they see is the Trump hat. They don't see the mask. Seeing the mask alone should be enough. Do you think they bully other Trumpers that wear masks?
Oh, probably.
I hope not.
Like, why are you wearing a mask? Oh, what are you, gay?
Walter and Jolly Good Ginger. They got on TYT. They thought they were actual MAGA people. You're talking about how you can't really tell the difference. Like they were on a TYT clip They thought they were actually MAGA, or just Dink retweeted it, I think. But then actually Walter ended up going on TYT as himself. But they actually thought that they were MAGA people, But that shows you how like close to fiction. Like even them totally screwing around, and just making fun of them. People are like, oh, look at these MAGA guys. Like it's actually believable at this point because that's how bad they are.
So well though, like Walter does it so well. He will ask them a question and then ask them a question in like a way that they are like, yeah, and he gets them to contradict themselves. It's almost like a bit from like the Daily Show, or and he does it so well. Like the Daily Show, I'm like, how do they not know who that is? I get it because they only watch their own media, but like we all know who Alex Jones is, which by the way, I think he's anti-Trump now. I don't know what happened there. Does anybody know anything about this?
No, he's still for Trump.
Alex Jones is mad about something that Trump did. Anybody in the
goddamn deep state?
Oh man, dude, they're getting like
they're turning. I went to Beto O'Rourke's announcement rally in Austin when he announced he was running for president a couple years ago, and I ended up being closer to Alex Jones at the rally than I was to Beto.
Oh, geez, Louise.
And the funniest thing happened when we were like leaving. He was still standing over like on the side with like his megaphone shouting at people. And this little kid said, "Mom, can I get a picture with Alex Jones?" And the mom went, "No," and then just like drug the kid away. And that was like parent of the year, man.
It really like weirds me out that I am an hour and 45 minutes away from Alex Jones. Like that much crazy is that close to me, and it's a lot for me to handle. Honestly, I live in a constant state of cognitive dissonance.
That's scary. Alex, he's I went over his podcast with Tim Pool the other night. He's still dishing out the he's big on the vaccines right now.
Okay. Is the vaccines gonna turn us gay like the chemtrails do the frogs? Is that where we're at now?
No, he's just he was fake news.
If you're part of the LGBT community, you don't have to take the vaccine.
It was 6 people that took part in the study for coronavirus vaccine. They had health issues, but it was actually people that took the placebo. Like it wasn't anything to do with the vaccine. Like it was just there's like 50,000 people that were in the study, and they just happened to have health issues over the last 8 months. It wasn't anything to do with the vaccine. So he was trying to, manipulate that basically.
Right.
Basically,
6 people died, and 4 of them were in the placebo group.
Like the health issue happened at the same exact rate that it happens outside of the study. They're like, it's not.
Well, and then he was talking about go ahead.
Right, 6 people died, right? 6 people died, but 4 of them were in the placebo group. It's so safer to take the vaccine.
And the other 2 people that died, they were like they were for complications of something else. Did you guys see this Proud Boys shirt?
Yeah.
Oh,
that shit. 6 million wasn't enough.
Wow,
they're not a white supremacist group, though.
Yeah, they're not a
supremacist group at all.
Have you guys seen the videos of the Proud Boys like jumping each other in at like rallies? They're taking the softest shots. They're like, stop, stop, like to their friends. Like I'm like, I've seen someone get jumped in. Have you ever seen someone get jumped into the Crips? Damn. No. Not the Jesus, not God. No. No.
Yeah,
like, I've said this before. If the Proud Boys and other racists think that gangs are not going to put their problems aside to go attack racist white people, they got another thing coming. And I can only speak so much to this, but if you piss off a Samoan, and LJ can tell me right now, you piss off a Samoan, you are fucked. Like that is not the ones. Not the ones.
They're very nice people. And equally as terrible when
there's a lot of Samoans up in Minnesota. They're pretty based people.
Yeah, they're nice. On the good days, they're nice.
I mean, they have been me anyway.
Like, and you don't fuck with family. Period.
That's the biggest problem about them is like we're big people and there's a lot of us, and so like I was standing in line at a bar and me and my girlfriend at the time were like getting kicked out. She was like being really drunk, and we were like getting in trouble. Well, the bouncer like put his hands on me and then like 4 Samoan people that I didn't even know just like rushed the bouncer and just like beat his ass. And I don't even know who they are. We were just like talking. I was like, oh, cool, yeah. Have a good day, guys. Thank you. I just like went about my business. But it's just hilarious. It's hilarious.
See,
but,
here's the thing. Where I'm from, all the bouncers are Samoan. So the second I say like anything about my cousin Malai or Kanessa, and they're like, "Oh, you know Samoans?" I'm like, "Yeah, my family."
Oh, yeah, you're solid.
The second someone fucks with me, it's like someone could tap me on the shoulder to fight. I'll turn around and see someone getting yanked out the bar. I was like,
"Yeah, they're solid."
Alphabet.
So I heard Cat Williams do a stand up one time, long time ago, and it kind of reminded me because when people started talking about Civil War, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're the South, like we have guns and stuff like that." But Cat Williams made a joke where he was like, "Oh, the United States took over Baghdad in like 4 hours. It's like you couldn't take over Baltimore in 4 hours."
Right. Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I mean, what do these people think in the South? They're just gonna rush the cities and like not get their ass whooped. I mean, there's a lot of gangs in South Central LA. Like, I don't know what these people.
Like, does rural America think they can like rush like these urban cities in the South? Because I can guarantee you, like all of the Tejanos in San Antonio wouldn't let any like gringos come in here. And like, we're not going to let that fly one bit. I mean, I can walk by. I feel safer walking by myself in the west side of San Antonio in the projects than I did when I was in Appalachia. Like, it just different culture.
Yeah,
like, there's a really big sense of community all the time.
It's just crazy. I can't believe it. Then you got guys like.
I want to see him run through Long Beach. Like, run through Long Beach. And you know what? Down in Southern California, people know what Long Beach is about. Long Beach has a reputation. Like, there's an expression that we all use, bitch, I'm from Long Beach. And that's our way of saying, like, this is your opportunity to back away because you're about to get all the heat you didn't want to ask for, period. Okay. Like, the gay guys fight just as hard as the straight guys. We're not the ones. Like, you don't try us. Like, that song goes, Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble, period. And I had this dude in my comment section out, and then I saw his name, like, that popped up in my notifications that said OC Snoop Dogg. And he only knew me from being Pacific Northwest. I was like, bro, I'm from Long Beach. You might want to change that fucking name real quick and shut the fuck up.
Is he Chucky right there? He Chucky, I'm not worried. I'm in the Bronx. Like, same thing, man. Come on.
Kayla said, do they forget the gun-owning liberals too? The gun-owning leftists too. I don't wake up like on Sunday mornings to go to the range not to use it.
If you go left enough, you get your guns back. That's a cool thing.
You get to keep them. I mean, like, you get better guns if you go to the left. We are against tyranny. How do you fight tyranny? Slap fight? No, bro. Like, no.
I think the gun thing is one thing about the left that gets overblown so much. Is that the liberals want to take away your guns? It's like, no, dude, no. I don't think you should have a tank.
Like,
come on.
Please don't have a grenade launcher. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
thank you.
That'd be pretty basic.
I mean, what do they think they're gonna like when they have to actually fight? They want to secede. Where do you? Who? Okay, like you. The SWAT team is already militarized. Like your little AR-15 is not going to take out a fucking tank. Sorry, they got like rocket launchers.
They got drone strikes. Like like you couldn't even see it coming.
Like
I was talking to this girl. I was like, and her husband. I knew her husband, and they were talking about. We were arguing about gun control, and they were like, honestly, we don't need gun control and like all that stuff. You know, they're just the typical talking points. And then they told me a story about how they had like freaking rocket launchers and like machine guns, and they go shoot cars in the desert in Utah. And I'm saying like, oh, how'd you get those? Like, where'd you guys get those from? And they're just like, oh, you know, we just asked, you know, a couple people. We just know a guy. I'm like, so you don't think we should have gun control when people like you can just go find these weapons and blow up a car? But yeah, we don't need gun control though.
All right, we just passed the big 7-0. I kind of like the 69-69-69 thing, but more is always better.
I felt like everybody was
700.
I think we should offer like some kind of like surprise for the person that gets it to like 2,000.
I think we're pretty much petered out now. I think everyone's kind of donated.
We
got up to 600 real quick. I think pretty much everybody that's donated is going to donate.
I am using socialism to con people.
Wait, where are we at right now? How much are we?
700.
700.
I'm happy as hell with that. Shit, that's
You
great.
just gotta literally send me the link and I'll put it in my thing. It'll be done by tonight.
Yeah, how
All I have to do is get on the channel. Well, I mean, the campaign will be over by when we sign off.
What?
Hey, just tell him that whoever gets us to 1,000, Driven will twerk on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want anybody to be falling in love now. You know?
That's how we get voters right there, man. That's how we-
Well, back in his day, we called it booty popping. It wasn't called twerking.
Last time I did that, Birdie won Nevada. You know what I mean? So, and then
What
I
is
was.
what is the most any one of you have had in a live? Tommy, excluding you. What is the most viewers have you had in a live, excluding Tom?
Are you talking? Who are you talking to?
75.
All of us.
I'm very small, so the most I've had is 50.
Okay, and Tim, what about you?
I like hit 10,000 very
Probably like I think on my YouTube live, probably like 50 or 60. Not in one of these, probably like 50 or 60, something like that. I never really go live on TikTok.
Okay.
Barely ever.
Tell me, during the elections, we get like 12 to 1,300 people in a live.
No,
and I was live one night.
Yeah, you get more than that, I think.
I was like, now it's more.
3,000.
Yeah, I was live one night, and he thought it would be funny to get everybody in his live to raid my live. So I was sitting there with like, I think like 50 or 60 people in there. All of a sudden, boom, it hit 900, and I was just like panic attack. And he's like, at home, like laughing at me. I'm like, hey guys, oh okay, and they were just like sending gifts. So I don't mind when he like hits me with a gifts. But I mean, like, I felt cheap. I was like, God damn.
You did better than Congress. Yeah, that's true. We raised more money than the Congress did for a single person.
Oh yeah. Like we got to one.
I will. We'll figure out something to do as like a thing. I don't know. I'll make a video on it probably tonight or tomorrow. We will get to go.
We should all
do
roast
JD Cons too. JD Cons, he wants to match $500, so I'm going to make him match $500.
Oh, nice.
But
that's fun. That's dope.
Yeah, like JD Con's gonna match $500 for all of his like live gifts that he's getting. He's donating them all, and he'll match up to $500.
Yes, yeah, what I usually do is I just go get like a bunch of like toys for tots or something, but I figure I'd make like an event out of it on top of that, you know, something. I mean, it just sucks, man. You like look around all this like just shit going on in the world, and you see all these horrible stories, and then Congress isn't doing anything. I figure, fuck, you know, every little bit helps, you know.
All these Republicans do off their cars so they can get in the bread line.
Look up a mutual aid organization in your major city. That's like the best form of direct action. They have great opportunities. Just mutual aid, your major city, and you can really, really get involved. It's one of the most fulfilling things. I know being involved in politics can get really tiring because it feels like you make no change. But honestly, like just handing out tents to someone or providing transportation to people that need it makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
As a hair salon, talking Long Beach, my friend and I had this thing called Hair Haven. And what we would do is we reached out to the battered women's shelter and we gave them certificates to give out to people. So that way, like, they could come and get their hair done and all that and get ready so they can go look for a job and whatnot. We reached out to the LGBTQ+ Center. We gave them a bunch of certificates so that people that were transitioning, we could help them get their look together the way they wanted to get their look together. We paid for everything, even hair extensions and color, like thousands of dollars worth of services. And at the same time, we had people donating clothes, jackets, blankets, water, all that. We would drive around Long Beach, and whenever we saw someone homeless, we would give them a jacket, give them a blanket, give them food, give them water, anything we could do, because nobody else is going to do it. And all these people that are like, this is what pisses me off. All these people are like, I don't want to take care of people that don't take care of themselves. I'm like, neither do I, but it needs to be done. So just fucking do it. Like, you guys want to talk about like pulling up yourself by your bootstraps? How about this? How about you put your big boy pants on, man up, and take care of people around you? How about that? It takes you bigger of an adult to help those around them than it does to sit there and close their doors to everybody else. Like,
It's also relatively easy to start your own mutual aid organization. You just need a good group of friends that are passionate about it, and there is a ton of resources online. Yeah, on how to go ahead and start it yourself.
Well, it's everybody's been down on their luck, man. You know what I mean? Like I've been basically fucking homeless at times. I've been up, I've been down. It doesn't make you smart just because you happen to be up at that point, or shit luck happens to everybody. Like people just get bad luck sometimes, and they need a little, a small helping hand, and yeah, it goes a long way.
Here's another little spotlight we can put. I'm not sitting here trying to flex. This is definitely not a flex. But like I told you guys, I went from 6 figures to making 20% of what I used to make pre-pandemic. My life, including my lease that is good for another 7 more months, is set up on that income. You know what I mean? Like 2-year lease. So it's set up on that income. So I right now am struggling to make my own 2 ends meet, but I'm still out here trying to help everybody else that I can. Like, I've struggled before. I know I can handle a struggle. I think that some people in this world are designed to struggle, and I don't think that's a negative thing. I think that like the world and the universe has a way for giving it to the people that can handle it. But now we're getting overflow. So I'm trying to help those around me learn how to struggle at least that much I can. You know what I mean? And I'm out here trying to like help other people any way that I can. I don't believe in karma anymore because I think after President Trump, it's hard to believe in karma. You know, but I do believe like I don't need a driving factor to be a good person. Just be a good person. Like I mean, no offense to anybody that's like religious, but I don't need religion to help me be a good person. I don't need like some type of reward to help me be a good person. I try to be a good person, not to be a good person, but because I see other people need it. So that's why I do it. Like there's no other there should be no reward system to helping out those around you. You should just do it. Like it feels good to be
a good person. And on that, I think we are because the COVID is starting to pull me down, and I need a nap desperately. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming out. I want to thank all these fine, lovely people. Thanks to everybody that donated. And yeah, if you guys could like the stream on the way out, cool. If not, cool. But yeah, you guys coming?
No, I can't.
Yep. What that guy said. And yeah,